Got a bit of a delay here. Oh wow, that's a pretty big delay actually. Oh well, we'll make do. Just still testing out some stuff with OBS. Um, I tried doing some like live reaction stuff too with that last time, but the stuff didn't work. The video would not play properly. The audio recorded fine. Yeah, see if anyone's out there just wanting to chat about good music this month. Nobody's here right now. So sad. I'm still figuring out this whole OBS thing. Somebody jumped on here. Again, I'm just messing around right now. Trying to see what crazy stuff I can do with OBS. It's weird, I can't see. Someone's in here, but I can't see who joined. Should be in the chat. Make yourself known. Who goes there? Yeah, I don't like this delay. Like I can see there's a pretty good delay between what I'm seeing in OBS and what's actually playing in the studio. Hmm. I'm just chilling, looking for ideas of what to do. Have kind of a chill night, which is kind of nice. It's been a crazy week. We had some pretty bad stuff go down at work, so looking to get my mind off of that. Wait a minute. Do I need to change this to... Maybe I need... Do I need to change this to public? Oh, wait. Enable live chat. On. How do I change this to... There we go. See what that does. I don't know what I'm doing. looking for ideas. See if people hop in here now. Oh, analytics. Kind of wish I could just see the chat here. Seeing who's on, who's not busy. Probably people have more of a life than I do right now. I've done my due diligence. I've done my dadly duties today. Looking forward to playing the medium. Probably tomorrow, though. Been replaying Dishonored 2. I actually played through it twice. I did the no kill run and the no magic run. It's kind of interesting just how differently the game plays and like what you focus your attention on and stuff based on what you're doing. Who's all in here? Why can I not see? This view is different because again I'm messing with OBS and before it showed me who all was in here, but I see there's two. It says there's two concurrent viewers, but I can't see who it is or anything like that. Try hopping in the chat if you can. If you have any particular ideas of stuff you want to talk about, call this a Q&A, but also, I don't know, I wanted to give it a snappy title. We could just focus on January music or we can talk about whatever. Seeing maybe some people jumping in here. Yeah, I don't know how to change. I have it set up too where I can like do stuff on my desktop. I mean, I guess while I'm waiting to see if people jump in here, just so I'm not like completely dicking around, I can go on Metal Storm and kind of look. I'm going to change the title because I don't think this is that formal. I'll change the title later. All right, so I gotta log in here. Oh, Metal Storm Award. Ooh, that'll be fun. Yeah, actually, yeah. Fuck. Oh shit. What is my login again? Crap. Oh, there it is. Okay, I got it. I got it. I got it. Metal Storm Best of 2020 Awards. All right, this is what we're gonna do. We'll see if. Oh, hey, what's up? All right, we got some people jumping in here. Hey, Dustin and hey, Jordan. Welcome. I'm just kind of chilling, having kind of a chill night, which is nice. And I'm dicking around with OBS, and I was kind of deciding what I wanted to do besides just speak with you all lovely people. Hey, Braden. But I did see that Metal Storm has their... Oh, fuck, it doesn't start yet. Damn it, starts tomorrow? No, day after tomorrow. Fuck, it starts on Monday. Well, know about that. So metalstorm.com every year you get to like vote. It's a fan vote of the best albums of the last year. So yeah, that would have been cool. But let me change the title again because we ain't doing that since that's not open yet. That would have been fun. All right, so just chillin'. Let's chat. Put it back to that. All right, but I will dick around with this OBS stuff here. So let me transition. Boom. So you all should see that now, hopefully. There's a delay. There we go. So yeah, they're going to open this, and they do it every year, and it's just, you can write in, but they usually have a couple of options for you, which is cool. But I guess while we're here, we can kind of look at, somebody asked in the Discord, like where I find out about upcoming releases. I mean, the majority of it is through my email and getting promos, but I also periodically, I think this is kind of my biggest source really, is going to Middle Storm. Why are you not loading? Sometimes the site can be kind of temperamental. um, their servers can crash and whatnot, which it looks like it may have happened. Man, it's just that kind of week. Is anybody else having like a crazy week? I feel like I should put my mask on too. What would I consider album of the year? So I put up my top 10 and I gave it to Code Orange, and I still think I stand by that. Fantastic album, big step forward, super heavy, off the wall. But it's pretty head to head between that and Loathe, which I also really enjoyed, and those were the albums that kind of like stuck with me throughout the entire year. But yeah, if you haven't checked out that uh, top 10 list, then you should do that. I'm going to transition back because this freaking site is so lagged out right now and it's not working properly. That's super annoying. Dustin, what was your favorite album of 2020? Let me see you all sound off in there. That's so annoying that like nothing nothing is working right now. It's been that kind of day too. Oh, here we go. All right, it's working now. Funny aside too. I mean, not really funny. Like it's been a bad week, y'all. Like I don't know. I think I heard it's a full moon, which I do like. I'm not super superstitious, but I do believe in some of that. And full moon is definitely one of them because there is like a little bit of science to that at least. It's not just completely like nonsense. But yeah, horrible week at work. Some really bad stuff happened that, due to kind of confidentiality, I can't even really talk about. But yeah, some pretty awful stuff happened. And then today we were driving on the highway, and this truck in front of us, the wheels just roll off of it, just out of nowhere. These wheels just roll off, veer right into our lane. Hey, what's up, Vayner? And fortunately, nobody was hurt. Like this was in the middle of the highway, full traffic and everything, going 65 or whatever. And yeah, his tires, his rear left tires, just roll right off the axle into traffic. Luckily, he was able to pull over. The tire veered right across our path and then bounced off the barrier and bounced back at us. And luckily, I hit the brakes. Otherwise, it would have been like up on our hood or windshield. But I rolled the tire back to the guy, and everybody was fine. So, but yeah, it's been a weird week, and like nothing seems to work, and it's just bad energy. Blackwater's saying Imperial, Triumphant, Code Orange, and Ocean Collective were easily my favorites from metal in 2020. Yeah, those are all great choices. Everybody was raving about the Ocean Collective, and I just sort of like passed over it for no particular reason. Um, Hey, what's up, Jamie? What's up, Jordan? And yeah, I've heard some things from it since that I liked, but yeah, I was just so hung up on all the stuff I was doing that I just never got to it. So I'll eventually circle back around. But yeah, Imperial Triumphant, definitely excellent album. I still say Vile Luxury is better overall. Jordan says, "Did you check out any of the Prava collective releases last year?" No, I did not. So I'll have to look into that as well. Okay, I've got this working now. So I'm going to go back to the fancy view. But yeah, for those who just jumped in, somebody asked me, like, where do I find out about upcoming releases? And so, again, mostly promo emails and stuff is like my biggest source from the PRs and the labels. But the other source I use quite a bit is Metal Storm, kind of to plan ahead usually and make sure I'm not missing anything, because obviously I don't get sent every little thing. But yeah, if you go on Metal Storm, let me make sure my view is such that I'm not like blocking too much here. Can I adjust this? No, I can't. That's all right. I'm not really blocking it too much. But yeah, you can see most of the stuff here. So February, basically, if it's been announced, it'll be on here. And pretty much no matter how underground too. Like Metal Storm does a really good job of keeping up with really everything you could think of. Like even stuff like Oculus and all that, they will cover it. And I already reviewed Corpaclani. It was all right. Emptiness, y'all mark your calendars for that, because that is a wild one. I can't wait to talk about that. Humanity's Last Breath, I will be talking about that too. Abiotic, I'll be covering in a roundup, because I just didn't have enough to say about it. I don't want to spoil too much though. But yeah, like even little, like, see, they've got like Merzbow on here, like all this weird stuff they will cover. Obviously, Harakiri for the Sky got pushed. Man, next month is crazy, y'all. Like I've wrapped up most of what I'm gonna do, but there's still stuff coming in that I'm like just finding out about, and other stuff I want to squeeze in. And there's just so much music. I don't know if so far March looks like it's not gonna be as crazy, but you never know. So yeah, there's a bunch on here that I've already put together my reviews on, and I'm looking forward to sharing them with you. I could put some more tier lists together too that I'm really stoked. A couple of them were requests, others were just ones I've been wanting to do for a while. Man, that Brand of Sacrifice album in March too, I'm stoked about that as well. Yeah, and then they just announced this like Wolfheart EP. So much stuff coming out. Reaper, I have that. I'm debating whether or not I'm going to do that. If I don't do it, I'll bet Chris will do it, because we both love that kind of black and thrashy stuff. But yeah, just to show you, like, that's a big way that I find out about, what's going on, what's coming up, and start to prioritize things, because it can be overwhelming. Oh shit, that chat is jumping forward here. Let me get back to that now that I switched my screen back. So, Horna, Oculus, Skeletal Remains, and Vampire. Excellent choices from Nate. Dustin, yes, yeah, I love Loathe, but I'm going with Chamber, Cost of Sacrifice, another solid one. Dude, that album just, like, slaps. It's so fucking hard. It's great. Vatican, I don't think I listened to. And yeah, crazy week. Yeah, about 70% water, so the moon effects. Hey, there you go. There's also things with like gravitational changes, I think, and yeah, it's weird. Emptiness is going towards a path similar to Ulver. Yeah, dude, that's a good way to put it for sure. And I have a quote from Chris in my video review that I put together too, that I think he nailed it on the head, but I don't want to spoil it. But yeah, it's a weird thing. Jamie says he'll be covering nearly all of them. Yeah, yeah. Merzbow is great. Chaotic Noise. Yeah, I've never really gotten into them. I'm not a huge noise guy, but I respect them. And like enough that I feel like if you're a noise artist and I know your name, I remember it, then you've got my respect. Because it's kind of hard in that scene, I feel like, to stand out. The other one that comes to mind is like Gnaw Their Tongues, with Maurice de Jong or whatever. He does a lot of stuff too. In fact, I just got a promo for like some other project he's doing, but yeah, he's an interesting one. I hear he's like the sweetest guy in the world too. Jordan says I'm gonna throw Scaife, Garea, Hoak, Oculus, and Prescription. Prescription's good. Nice little deep cut there for some fans last year. Yeah, I like Scaife. I was expecting more from that album, given the last one, but yeah. And also shout out to the boys at Dadcore, for cracking the code in terms of the best way to pronounce Garea, because one of them has fuck, now I'm gonna be embarrassed. He's got some Hispanic background and speaks some Spanish, and he was talking about how they're from, aren't they from like Spain or something? Now I'm forgetting. But he's like the Spanish pronunciation would be Garea. And that sounds cooler to me than Garea, which I think I was saying, or Garea. Garea sounds much fancier. Rough Gur says Lucky Puppy Paws. Okay. Welcome. Merzbow I discovered through Full of Hell. Oh, yes. Maybe that's how I found them, too, come to think of it. Dude, Full of Hell. I feel like I was one of the few people that did not like the last album. It was okay. It had some decent cuts on it, but in comparison to... Let me pull off the other one, man. We'll go to the shelf. We're going to get real here. We're going to get physical. Let's get physical and don't claim my podcast for using copyrighted music. Where are you? Where's F? There it is. So it's sitting right on top there. Yeah, man, this one's a fucking monster right here. This is where it's at when it comes to Full of Hell. Like, I heard Trumpeting Ecstasy, and it's appropriately named. I was in ecstasy listening to that. It's good stuff. Yeah, the Werewolves album too. I was really see that was one that I would not have known about if I hadn't gotten the email. I was curious, Jamie, when you did your review. It was soon after I dropped my roundup that I had them in, and I wasn't sure if that's where you got wind of them or if you just found out about them independently. Plus, they're come to think of it, they're from your native land, as they say. So you might be more aware of them than I am too. So I was just something I was curious about. But yeah, Werewolves was fucking sick. If you just want some grimy, heavy, disgusting, vicious music, then check out that Werewolves album because it is just fucking raw as hell, and I loved it. Yeah, I wish I could do. I was testing out with OBS the other day, trying to do like live reactions like in this format, because I even have some stuff in my queue from like independent bands that wanted me to react, and I just haven't had the time. And I thought I could do kind of like a battle of the bands, but it was coincidence saw them on Apple Music. Nice. Yeah, but the video got all choppy, and so like you could hear the music great when I played it back and checked it out. Like the music sounded fine, so I could do some like Bandcamp type stuff that way, but the YouTube shit was bad, and it's probably my connection, and maybe my computer too, because I just use a laptop. It's a gaming laptop, like it's a pretty decent laptop, but yeah, I don't know. I'm debating buying the Full of Hell album, but I seem to get into the album prior to Ecstasy. I don't even think I've listened to that one yet. I hear it's good though. Gatecreeper and Tribulation have released my favorite albums of January so far. Yeah, that Tribulation album caught me off guard. Like, I put together that other video about the horror before I had heard the new album. And so I was kind of like, still in the same mindset where I don't hate their new stuff. They're another band that I kind of respect, but it was kind of like Ghost, where I'm just kind of like, I respect it, but it's not really for me. And then, yeah, the new album came out and didn't have high hopes, but still wanted to review it because I knew it was going to be one that people would want to hear about. And yeah, it just blew me away. Really fantastic album. But it really is a bummer that they lost Jonathan, though, because Jonathan, not only the guitar player, he was the primary songwriter. Like, he wrote all of it, and especially that album. Like, this last album, he wrote like the whole thing, and then he pieced out. So I don't know how it's going to go now. I wonder if it's going to be kind of like Architects in a way, because similar situation. Like, not only was Tom their guitar player, but he was their primary songwriter, and you can hear their sound kind of, in my opinion, take a bit of a dive as soon as he wasn't writing the music for them. So yeah. Black metal this year has been fantastic. Have you found any black metal albums you like this year? I'm sure that I have. Um, let me look at I got to jog my memory about all that's come out too. I'll go back to the fancy view just to mess with the continue messing with this OBS thing. So we're on released released albums now. Yeah, so this is all up to date. So I'm trying to think. I'm not sure. Have I reviewed a black metal album this year yet? I mean, you could argue Tribulation has some black metal vibes, but hey, look, that's already in the top 20 of the year from their rating system. I haven't rated that yet. I'm gonna give it a 9. What else do we got here? Do that Portrayal of Guilt too. I'm gonna give them a 9. Let them know I've got it too. Metal Storm, cool site too for just kind of keeping track of your collection and everything, and you can look at your overall gradings and all that kind of stuff. I think Chris just reviewed this on the site. Should even check that. He did, yeah. Yeah, if you want good black metal recommendations, I'm extremely picky, so I like to think if I covered it that it's really worth your time, like Oculus. But that's my ego talking a little bit, at least there. But Chris is all about the black metal. Like that's like kind of his one of his specialties. Looks like he didn't love this one too much. I'm just assuming this is black metal too because just from the cover, but I'm looking at the review here too. But yeah, Chris covers some great stuff. So, and his are all written, so you got to go to the site to check those out. But he does great work. He's been reviewing way longer than me. I think he said like 16 years now. He's been or like going on that. He covered a lot of death metal lately too. But yeah, there's a lot of stuff. But yeah, I mean, I guess the fact that like nothing's like jumping to my mind immediately is kind of telling. But I'm hoping I've gotten a lot of it in my inbox, and I just haven't been like enthralled with a lot of it so far. And come to think of it, like I don't think Jamie, you've even covered a lot of black metal lately, but it's early in the year, y'all. So we'll see what happens. But yeah, nothing's jumping to the forefront of my mind. But yeah. I'm gonna switch back here just for now. Let me see what's going on with the chat. So, all right. Where did I leave off? Okay, Tribulation albums reminded me so much of Ghost and Cradle of Filth. Cradle of Filth, that's an interesting comparison. I definitely see the Ghost. Grima released a good album. Yes, I've been hearing good things about that. I think Jamie covered that. Yeah, Jamie says no, you haven't. Have you heard Yoth Iria? No, I have not. Even if it's in my inbox, I'll flag it. Let's see, Yoth Iria. Oh, it is. And I put a maybe on it. So it is a cool cover. I see that we just passed it on Metal Storm too from Pagan Records. Oh, it's already out too. I'll add this to my to listen pile. I get too many. There's too much music, guys. That's what it comes down to. There's just too much fucking music out there, and you can't cover all of it. That's why I'm thankful that there's multiple channels. We got a little network where if one person doesn't cover it, somebody else will. Part of the reason why I didn't cover S-Fix too, even though Chris wrote a written review for that, it was like I didn't have much to say about it other than it was pretty gnarly. And then I was like, oh, well, they already covered it, so I'm not going to do it. That Han album, planning to listen this week. The album cover is sick. Yeah, it is a nice, just classic black metal looking cover. Surprised you haven't heard of Prava Collective. Being honest, dropped five albums. That might actually be the reason, because honestly, when I get a promo and they usually, in that situation, will give you all of them at once. And I'm just like, that's just overwhelming to me. Like, I'm kind of OCD, so I like to knock things off my list. And when I say I'm kind of OCD, I don't mean I'm actually like diagnosable. Like, I just have certain things, like everybody. I have certain things I have tendencies with where I get kind of like I was talking about it today. I was playing a video game and I was on the last level and I just wanted to finish it, but I couldn't right then because I had other shit I had to do. And all I could think about was the game and finishing the game. And I'm kind of the same way with like reviews. If I have a big list of things that I want to review, then it gives me like anxiety, which is not cool. Yeah, January is usually a slow month. So that's what's crazy though, Blackwater. Like January is supposed to be slow, but it wasn't. Like it really wasn't. And part of it was because I was working on February stuff, but most of it was January. And especially because like there were a lot of good underground bands dropping stuff in January. Like right on January 1st, we got that Anapest album and the Juan Bond album. And I really enjoyed both of those and strongly encourage checking those out if you're into either really intense, brutal, technical death metal for Anapest, or kind of more Dillinger Escape Plan kind of stuff for Juan Bond. But yeah, we'll pick up, let's see, 7 reviews I've done for black metal. I want to do more, but people complain like Elson. Dude, fuck Elson. Nobody gives a shit. Nobody gives a shit what Elson thinks. We should just stop saying his name. We should stop giving him notoriety. It's what he wants. Yeah, black metal's so good. Yeah, Jordan. Fair enough. Absolutely. What else can we look on here? I really wish their voting was open. Again, if you joined late, I got excited for a minute because every year Metal Storm does their annual voting, and it's crowdsourced in terms of who had the best albums of last year. And but it's not open yet. It was just the ad that it's opening on Monday, on the 1st. And they leave it open for I think like a whole month, so you don't find out the results till like March, which is a little weird, but I guess they really want to make sure that nothing gets missed. And it's kind of cool though. So would have dig doing that, but yeah. So what else do you guys want to talk about? Give me some ideas here, because again, I'm just chilling. This is just laid back. I had some free time. I was like, fuck it, I'll jump on the laptop. I finished Dishonored 2 twice today, because I finally got the Xbox Series X, and it's funny because I'm not even playing new games on it yet, but I've had Dishonored 2 on disc for a while, and I wanted to replay it, but my Xbox One's disc drive ate shit, so couldn't play it. So finally I was like, shit, I can go back and play it. So I wanted to do the no kill playthrough, and then I wanted to do the no magic playthrough. So I finished the no kill playthrough, which was kind of fun. And then I did that this morning, and then I just basically speed ran the like brute force no magic run, and that was fun too. Like, it was interesting how different the playstyles had to be for that, and what I focused, like what I bought in the stores. I'd never played Dishonored without the powers, so it was definitely a very different game like that. But yeah, you can do it though. You can brute force your way if you're on New Game Plus, especially. You can brute force your way through that game in just a couple hours. But it's super fun to replay. But yeah, so I finished that, and then I was like, what am I gonna do now? I don't know. I was maybe gonna put on a movie, but thought I'd hang out with y'all and see what everybody was up to. But yeah, what are you all looking forward to in March the most? Let me know. Shit, speaking of the inbox, stuff's already coming through. Too much music, y'all. It's crazy. Is the chat frozen? Or maybe people just stopped talking. Which is all good. We're just laid back here. Let me look at what else can we look at? What else can we dick around with just for fun? I have so many things too in my Bandcamp queue for future episodes of Best of Bandcamp. Like, that shit fills up faster and faster every month now, because one band does it, and then their band buddies hear about it, and then they send me their shit, and then like we're off to the races. So that's why those have been even kind of longer and longer each time, which I'm fine with. I enjoy doing those. Okay, like, I think the fret chat was maybe a little slowed down. Do you play metal music with your video games? Yeah, as much as I can. I'm a big, like, I've really ruined my attention span, because I mostly like listen to or watch YouTube videos while I'm playing games too. It's a really bad habit. But yeah, I like to like catch up on the latest stuff from all the YouTube channels I like to watch, and I'll usually just listen to them depending on what it is. Or I'll re-listen to old episodes, because it's almost like hanging out with old friends in a weird way. There's actually research around that like watching reruns of your favorite shows has like a really like dopamine inducing effect on your brain. So I'll do that, or I'll listen to metal. But a lot of times, like, a lot of the games I replay have such good soundtracks that I also don't want to drown them out. So like BioShock And Dishonored actually has kind of a cool, if sort of sparse soundtrack. Some games I have to pay attention to more too, though. Like I'm really into Hitman now, and I feel like I need to be able to hear as much as I can of the game, like every subtle little noise, just to make sure that I don't get caught, because I like to do it stealthy. But yeah, I do sometimes. Have you heard the Ruins of Beverest? That was interesting. Yes, I listened to a little bit of it, but Chris already picked it up, and as we've mentioned on the podcast, if between the two of us, if the other one picks something up, we tend to not spend as much time on it just so that we can cover as much as possible. So I know Chris will do a good job with that. He's the bigger Ruins of Beverest fan of the two of us, but I do enjoy their music. And yeah, I listened to a bit, and they're always doing just whatever the fuck they want to, which I highly respect. But I don't know if I'm sure if I really sat down with it, I'd have a lot more to say about it. But as of right now, I'm kind of just like, yeah, I'm happy just letting Chris do it because I have other things I want to focus on right now. Sepulchros Vacío from Transcending Obscurity. Dude, Transcending Obscurity, shout out. Those guys are great. And they actually, the dude over at Transcending Obscurity that runs the label, it used to be a webzine. And that's how Chris and I met, actually, was uh, I was doing some reviews on like Metal Storm and stuff, and then uh, dude from Transcending Obscurity reached out to me and was like, "Hey, do you want to write reviews for us?" And I was like, "Yeah, sure." And then Chris was writing reviews too, and we started interacting. And then they closed down the webzine part of the site and went full just label only. But yeah, cool dudes, and they put out good music. Gut Slit is one of my favorite things off of that label that's come out. I did a while back. I did kind of a throwback review of that one. Doom Death with Funeral Doom Atmosphere. The 3 tracks they have released are very nice. See, that's probably another reason too. Like, I haven't heard of that one or haven't listened to it as much, anyways. Is I'm just not super into like Funeral Doom, as you all well know, because I say it a lot. I'll keep trying though. Honestly, been checking out lots of discographies like Cradle of Filth, Baroness. Yeah, I've gone through a few myself lately too, so you'll be seeing tier lists on those, which again, I'm really stoked to share those. Sometimes it's really hard for me to just sit on videos and I just want to like drop them all, but I know I gotta like pace it out. One a day is enough already to kind of have to take on from a viewer standpoint. Sorry, I just bashed the screen, so probably shook everything. Swamp Beast, really their debut soon. I almost was gonna cover that, but there's just too much coming out that week, so I dropped it. Depravity, yes, I do enjoy Depravity, and I reviewed their last album that came out towards the end of last year, I think it was. Even born in commie Portland, I don't get the mask identity stuff. Yeah, man, Portland is a weird place. It really is. People here are a little strange. It's beautiful, and I don't really miss the flat grayness of the Midwest where I grew up, but I miss the people in the Midwest. Like, it's just a different breed. There are some really cool people out here, but it's fucking weird. Ruins of Beverest new album is very doomy. It's gonna be so hard to review it. Yeah, I don't envy you. It's another reason why I'm just like, all right, I'm more than happy to pass that off to somebody else. Did any of you check out that Scarred album that I put in my roundup? It was more of a shout out kind of towards the end. But seriously, that the lead single, Mirage, is so epic. Like, it's so awesome. It's if you're into Gojira, you got to check out at least that song. The rest of the album's just kind of okay, but it that track will blow your lid off if you're into that kind of stuff. Blackwater saying, been learning some black metal grind on guitar, mostly Dissection and Anal Nathrak. Nice. Dude, those Dissection riffs will take you a long way too, because you're right on the verge there with, melodic death metal too, because they basically are using similar styles, and they are Swedish after all, so of course that's going to come into play. Yeah, woo, Anal Nathrak, says Jamie. Absolutely. I want to do more like fun, kind of still metal themed, but different kind of tier list too, like my metal movie tier list. I had a lot of fun doing that, and I'd love to come up with some more ideas to do stuff kind of in that realm. I want to do more like genre ones too, but every time I try, I like look at the list and I feel overwhelmed, and I'm like, oh, there's a lot of stuff I actually haven't even listened to, and that would be a huge undertaking to like take in 20 more bands that I need to have a solid opinion on before I speak about them. I don't want to do that. What's up, Foxifer Rex? Black metal acoustics are fantastic. Yes. Scarred, I have not checked out. Check out the song Mirage. I kind of wish I could play it here. You know, I'll bet. I wonder if I could like sneak a little. I could try to sneak a little sample in here. Like if it's under a couple seconds, maybe it'll let me do it. And I won't do the video since the video won't play properly anyways. But hopefully this won't be like crazy loud. But oh fuck, I also shit, my headphones are set wrong. I just realized, and if I try to switch them, it's probably gonna f shit up. But fuck it, I'll try this anyways. Let me see here. So Scarred. I'll do this kind of best of Bandcamp style and just jump around with it. Here it is. So let me switch to the other view here. So yeah. Anytime I try to, I should have noticed it before I started, but anytime I try to change it after the fact, then it makes my voice pitch down, and we don't want that because then I'm gonna sound weird. I'm gonna sound very weird, to say the least. All right, so we're back in regular view here. I don't know. Could you all hear that? Yeah, okay. You could. Okay. Yeah, I wish I had... Man, I wish I hadn't messed up my freaking settings here with my headphones. Let's see. So I can just take these off because they're not even going to work right now because I'm a dumbass. Number 1 of black metal E. Let's see. My next ranking is Incantation Hard Band to rank. Yeah, I'll bet. I've never like dug too deep into them. Definitely not enough to ever rank. I kind of like that we've been diversifying our tier list a little bit more too. Like as fun as it is sometimes to see where we line up on certain bands, I prefer if like we're covering a broader spectrum and I'm like covering these bands, you're covering this band, and then, you know, Quest for Metal is covering different stuff too. So it just gives viewers, I feel like, more stuff to check out. Something I haven't seen people do is talk about regional scenes of metal subgenres. So again, follow Chris and the writing he does, and I'm trying to encourage him to do more. He's been doing interviews too. So that's been cool. Like you can check out interviews that Chris is doing on the podcast now. And, you know, I'd love for him to do some like video content and stuff too, because that is his passion. Like he loves to cover regional scenes. And in fact, he wanted to build his own site, which I totally would support him in. But he, you know, he had to go and get engaged and get all busy with that. How dare he, right? So yeah, I don't know if that's still going to happen, but I think it's really great. And he's got the know-how and the passion. Like Chris just loves music in general and will cover whatever. And especially loves, like, he'll cover a lot of like Japanese grind, and then he'll cover like just little corners of the world too. So yeah, check out more of his stuff. And I'd love to work it into the channel more and more, but he's already doing it a little bit with some of the interviews he's been picking. Like he did that, shoot, I'm forgetting the name of the band now, but I think it's made up of like a member of, like X Japan or something, and then some other Japanese artist, Aniharu or something like that. But yeah, check out his stuff. Dissection's actually hard. Yeah, dude, that they do some like yeah, it's no yeah, like you're saying, Dark Throne Bathory, like that's relatively easy as long as you get the tremolo picking down, because that's basically all it is. Like it's just a bunch of tremolo picking on a bunch of notes. It's not particularly difficult. Whereas with Dissection, there's like actual compositional work going on there, and a little bit more technicality. Not the hardest thing in the world. It's no Imperial Triumphant, mind you, but yeah, it's pretty crazy. God, I really want to like mess with some audio stuff now too, but I'm really afraid that the minute I switch my headphone setting here, it's going to fuck up how I sound. So I guess I probably shouldn't do that, because I'll just end the stream if I if that happens. I don't want to sound like that. I've had a few interviews where I had to like fix it at the beginning, because it just likes to do that for some reason. And my dog is just complaining. Like he comes in here and then he's like scratching at the door to get out. It's like, why'd you come in here then? Why you gotta do that? What else? What else we got going on here? Man, but yeah, so much music, so much freaking music just coming out. Hard to keep up with it. It's honestly been a bit of a task. But I'm trying to keep it fun, and I'm forcing myself to kind of like scale things back, because there was a time where I felt like I just had to cover everything, and I've sort of let that go and just been like, all right, I'm going to focus in on certain things. Some of it just because they're returning and I think they're really cool. Some of it because I've never really listened to them before and I know that people would be interested in hearing about it, so we can have fun with that together. Some I just hear it and I think it's raw and awesome and I want to check it out. So plenty of all of those things coming down the pipe in the especially in this next month. Like I am so excited to share some of the reviews from next month, but there's still a handful that I'm waiting on too. I've honestly heard most of like what I wanted to hear from February already, but there are a handful of holdouts. I think there's like 3. I'm looking at my lineup here. I think there's like 3 in particular that I'm hoping will come through that I can check out. And if not, like I like them enough that I'll review them after the fact too. But it's nice if you can get some early listens in. Best release of this month. Man. So I put out my best of the month video, but it wasn't really ranked, I suppose. So, I mean, it's a tough call. Honestly, I think Anna Pest. Like, Anna Pest really stuck with me. Like, it's just vicious. It's just vicious. And it's rare that an album with that many tracks can be so consistent, but it really is. Like, it's just wretched, fucking awesome death metal. And she did an amazing job with it. And so I think she deserves so much recognition. And I'm really hoping people go out and check her shit out, because that album is just disgustingly heavy. It's so good. Let's see. Waving the Gate Creeper flag myself. Yeah, definitely. Asphyx, Sown, and Tribulation for me. Yeah, dude, everyone is sucking that Asphyx album's dick. And that's fine. Like, again, that's not me saying it's not a good album. It's just like sometimes there are albums that like so many people like it that I almost like just don't care. But I'm guilty of that too. Like I'm in the Code Orange camp for sure, and that's like the almost the definition of that, where people are so sick of like hearing about Code Orange that they'll just like talk shit on them just because. So, whatever. I won't throw rocks at glass houses. The album I've been enjoying right now won't come out till March. Which one? Because yeah, I've got it. I haven't even gotten to my March albums yet, but I already have like a pretty big pending to download list of stuff. I've listened to a few March albums, but again, I've been just so busy. Like I have Stort Rain, want to listen to that, just haven't had time yet. Hoping to get Brand of Sacrifice soon. Looking forward to Rob Zombie. Oh, I did listen to the new Estuarin, which I think I'm going to be premiering a track for. And I have a pre-existing relationship with that guy. He is super cool, makes awesome music. If you like really weird technical death metal, black metal grind kind of stuff, I'm going to let my dog out because he's being annoying. There you go. What else? Oh, looking forward to hearing Genghis Tron, new Tomahawk. I mean, come on. But yeah, it's not quite as stacked yet as I want to hear Wolf King too. I know that's coming out in March. Their last one was kind of okay, but I loved their debut EP. So let's see. My favorite release. Oh, so Falxifer says Sarkrista. I have not listened to that yet, and that doesn't even sound familiar. I give a listen to pretty much everything that comes into my inbox, which is a lot. Usually it's just a couple seconds just to decide whether or not I want to give it my time. But yeah, I don't think I've checked that out. So I'll have to keep my eyes open for that. Yeah, At the Gates I know are working on theirs. I don't have hype for them though, honestly, because I just didn't like the last two albums. Like they're just fine. Like they're just okay. Melodeath. And I was arguing with Metal Meltdown about this because he is such a At the Gates guy. He just loves At the Gates to the point where he's like, every album is awesome. And I just don't feel that way. I think Slaughter the Soul is, one of the greatest melodic death metal albums of all time, if not the greatest melodic death metal album of all time. But beyond that, it's kind of like the other albums are okay, and the new albums are just really kind of average, like very kind of C tier, maybe B tier albums for me. And yeah, it's just okay. I think particularly At War with Reality like had some solid singles, and then the rest of it was like decent. And then the one after that, which I'm even forgetting the name of it, and I listened to it over and over again, like wanting to being like, am I missing something? Like I want to like this more. It had a great lead single, and then the rest of the album's just kind of like, I probably listened to that album like at least 30 times, and I could not remember a minute of it right now. Like it just doesn't stick with me. So that's just me though. Yeah, they're fine. They're totally fine. They deserve their legacy for basically kind of forming the blueprint of that sound in a way. But other than that, honestly, I like Thomas did another project called The Lurking Fear, and that album is way better. Like check out The Lurking Fear. In fact, maybe I can sample some of that here in case you haven't heard it. Again, I'm going to try to do this carefully so I don't get in trouble with the the YouTube gods. It doesn't seem to be on Bandcamp, so I might have to do this on YouTube. But yeah, again, I'll just play like little snippets of it. But this album's sick. Like, it's got that At the Gates flair, but it's also a little bit more like almost crusty, a little bit more old school. And yeah, it's pretty dope. So I'll just, let me switch my view again here. And we'll play a little bit of that. Stupid ads. Just blistering. We got to get to Thomas's vocals. Yeah, to me, like, it's so much better. The album's really consistent. It's really fun. I forget what year it came out, but it is dope. Like, you need to check that out. I know the video probably didn't play right, but hopefully you could at least hear the music, because that's really what I wanted you to check out, was just hear what it sounded like. Yeah, I wish they'd put out another album too, because again, I'd be more excited about that than a new At the Gates album for sure. To Drink from the Night Itself, thank you. Yes, that was the last one. Yeah, it's just okay, which is sad because that's such a sick title too. I really like that title, and the album cover, like everything about that album, like seems like it should be amazing, but it's just not. Like it's just really forgettable, and so it's just hard for me to like really continue to fanboy for this band. At least they're doing better than In Flames. I'll give them that. But yeah, I'm just not really stoked about it. I will check it out, like I always do. Um, Always interested to see what happens. But even like I said, I don't like it when people like over fanboy over a band. Like I love certain bands for sure, like Dark Tranquillity, but I try not to let the bias seep in. Like their latest album was just okay too. Uh, I liked it and it was good and I enjoyed listening to it, but it wasn't. I'm not going to pretend that it was like album of the year because it wasn't. Compared to the rest of their discography, it was pretty middle of the road, I would say. So that's just me though. 2017, is that when that came out? Yeah, that sounds about right. One band that I love to hear full length album from is called Rejoice the Light Has Come. That's a sick band name. Oh, by the way, if I can remember what the comment was. Oh, so I think I was commenting on the new, not the newest music video, but the last music video from Distant, I think it was. They're like a deathcore band. And the music video had, it's very black and white, and it has this guy with like a crown and like a really fucked up face. And I was like, he looks like the mouth of Sauron. And so I just like, for the lulz, as they say, I just posted, oh shit, the Mouth of Sauron has a deathcore band. So if you're familiar with Lord of the Rings, you'll know who the Mouth of Sauron is. But somebody commented like that comment got upvoted like hugely, and then somebody commented back. They're like, dude, that would be a sick band name. And the more I thought about it, I'm like, that would be a sick band name, especially for a deathcore band. Because especially if they had like a really raw vocalist with just like a really intense vocal style, Mouth of Sauron, like come on, that would be the perfect thing. So you heard it here first. I'm copywriting it in this stream right now. If somebody else wants to use it, I don't have time for a band, that's fine, but at least give credit where it's due. If you call your band Mouth of Sauron, but I think that's a fucking sick name. If you're not familiar with Mouth of Sauron, I'll bring up a picture here. You just do a little image search here. Yeah, they've got it's mostly the guy from the movie, which they did a really cool makeup job on. They didn't do the book character justice, I feel like. That whole third movie for me is kind of my least favorite, but yeah, it was good for what it was. I like the first two movies a lot better. All right, so yeah, this is the Mouth of Sauron. But yeah, they've got this guy in their video. Maybe I can find it even. Oh, great. There's all this like non-metal stuff. Let me add deathcore to that. I think it was Distant. And these are all like old. What about this here 5 days ago? I think this is the newer one though. But yeah. Let me go to their page. I swear it was Distant, but I could be wrong. Could have been somebody else. I don't know. I'm not going to waste too much time on that. But yeah, anyways, that is my idea for a band name that I think would be really freaking righteous. All right, back to the chat here. What we got here? We don't talk about it. Yeah, the first rule of the first rule of Fight Club, right? The first rule of Metal Trenches is we do not talk about In Flames, even though I will be talking about In Flames actually very soon. A little teaser there. But yeah, In Flames. Agreed. It causes me pain. But I will say, when I went through to re listen, there were a few things that surprised me, actually, that I didn't hate. I didn't love, but I didn't hate. Um, yeah, dude, mouth is. That'd be sick. That scene shouldn't have been cut from the movie. Yeah, I mean, it's in the extended edition, though. So, yeah. In Flames fizzled out. Sounds of Playground fading is so jarring to listen to now since I went back through the discography. Yeah. Token is a treasure trove of band names, by the way. Well, yeah, of course. I mean, like, I'd say like 80% of black metal bands are named after some sort of Lord of the Rings lore. Like 100%. Like, what, Cirith Ungol? Basically, any band with like Cirith as the first word in their title. Like, all of that is Lord of the Rings imagery. Um, yeah, we could probably go on and on right now. That I've come across so many instances of it, which is really cool to me because I am like OG Lord of the Rings because my dad read the books to us. He grew up with the books and he read the books to us since I was probably like 4 years old. So I knew those stories like back to front long before the movies even came out. And then the movies were great. The Hobbit movies are garbage. I don't know how, you go back and you watch the Lord of the Rings movies and they hold up so well. Like the acting, the action, the visual effects, because it's mostly like miniatures and like messing with size and distance and everything. But because of that, it still looks great. Whereas with the Hobbit, it's all fucking CGI, and CGI is fine when used appropriately, but it's just like it's like the Star Wars prequels basically, where like everything's CGI, so it just looks like shit. And those movies are only a couple years old now, and they already just look terrible. They looked terrible when they came out, and I was like, fuck this. I didn't even watch the last one. I think two. Did they split it in 3 movies or 4 movies? I don't even remember. But yeah, I didn't watch at least the last one. I think I just watched the first one and I was like, fuck this, I'm out. Even though I go way back with that, but God, that causes me pain, like more than anything. I think. I feel like somebody's scratching on the wall by me. Probably one of my kids. Um, what else we got? In Flames, Angmar, Baradur, Gorgoroth. Yes, Amon Amarth. Is that really? And I just didn't pick up on that. What is Amon Amarth? Huh. Good one. Isn't that the same Gorgoroth with the names? Yeah. I blame WB for how the... Yeah, dude. Studios fuck shit up. Makes me so mad. I was really excited, too, because Lord of the Rings was such a, like, event for us to go see those movies in the theater and everything. And so and I love The Hobbit, too. Like, the book. I've read some of it to my kids, too, and everything. Like, it's great. But they just... shit the bed with that one. That should have been like a slam dunk, especially with the cast they got, because they got a really good cast. But no, they fucked it up so bad. Yeah, Kiwi made too. Yeah, unfortunate because there's a lot of good stuff that comes out of that region. 3 movies, yeah, 3 fucking terrible movies, not worth watching. If you haven't seen the Hobbit movies, don't fucking watch them. Don't give them your money. Fuck Warner Brothers. While you're at it, fuck Sony too. Sony's film division is shit. The only good thing they have going for them is like Spider-Man. That's about it. That's why they held on to that so fast, because they know that they make garbage fucking movies. Summoning's literally a band that worships Token. There's a lot of Dark Souls themed bands now too. Like I feel like that's kind of the new thing. Come across a lot of like technical death metal and deathcore bands with Dark Souls themed lyrics and names and stuff. Favorite album of 2006. Man, I gotta think back to what came out in 2006. Let me pop in my iTunes and sort by... Actually, I'll go in the best metal playlist and I'll sort by year and see what pops up here. So 2006, we've got... Okay, so we've got... Ooh, All That Remains, The Fall of Ideals. That's a runner. Ooh, Amon Amarth with Odin on our side. That's definitely in there. Celtic Frost Monotheist. Man, this is a tough year. Converge No Heroes. Not my favorite Converge album, but a good one. All of Converge is good. Converge. Enslaved dropped Run. Gorgoroth dropped Ad Majorum Sathanis Glorium. Holy shit, what a year. In Flames dropped Come Clarity, Lamb of God, Sacrament, which is... I'm not in love with Sacrament, so I can take it or leave it. Mastodon Blood Mountain. Melachus Emissaries. Norma Jean Redeemer. Holy crap. Under Oath, Define the Great Line. Sixth, Death of a Dead Day, Vader Impressions in Blood. Okay, that's what I've got in here. Those are all, like, top tier right there. Like, holy fuck. I can't choose between those. I don't think I can. And they're all so great for different reasons. Also, Cannibal Corpse Kill is in there. You know, top of mind, surprising even myself a little bit, too. Part of me wants to give it to Sixth just because they're so underrated, and that album is just incredible. And they were so before their time. But I think I have to give it to Celtic Frost. That Monotheist album is so just haunting and imposing and destructive. It's just like a mental warfare. And it's very much like, I consider that to be the first album of Triptykon, really, because that's like the beginning of the Triptykon sound. It's not really a Celtic Frost album. It has Celtic Frost members, but it's the Triptykon sound. And there's even a song in it towards the end called like Triptych, I think. But yeah, I think I'd give it to that, honestly. But that's tough, man. That is a big year. Holy fuck. Yo, what up? New here. What's up, PTB Empire? Welcome. We're just hanging out, just having a good time. Didn't have a particular agenda in mind. What's your take on the whole Iced Earth thing with the lead singer? Oh man, dude, that's just crazy. Like, to me, if you were there protesting, that's perfectly fine. Like, that's your right to do so. But if you stormed the Capitol, if you went inside and you were making people feel unsafe, and mind you, there are people in the Capitol building that I don't particularly like either. And some of them, probably there's crossover there between who these people didn't like and who I don't like. But I don't wish harm on any of them. And to me, like, violence just begets more violence. And that's why we're in the current state that we're in, is that it's a constant escalation of this side escalates, and then this side escalates, and then this side escalates more. And so all that to say, yeah, if he was one of the people that stormed the Capitol, then fuck that guy. That doesn't mean, but I also am not a person who is like, you know, if they're a shitty person, that doesn't mean I'm not going to listen to their music. Like, if I like their music, to me, art is owned by the fans once it goes out into the airwaves. So at that point, it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't belong to them. It belongs to me. Those As I Lay Dying records, they belong to me. The Inquisition records, they belong to me. Like, there's nothing to do. It's interesting to talk about, but like, yeah, that's how I feel about that overall. But so overall, yeah, like, if he did that, then fuck him as a person. But also, I don't really like Iced Earth to begin with, so I guess it doesn't really matter in the big thing. But yeah, I don't want to get too heavy and political. We did that a little bit last time. You should react to some Conflict Low Frequency Addicted, the Black and Gold video. I haven't heard of that. I'll have to check that out. I haven't been doing as too many reactions lately. They're honestly not my favorite thing to do. I just do them as they come to me. Like, if something pops up and I'm gonna watch it anyway, and I have the time and I think it would be fun to share it, then I do it. But I'm much more into doing the reviews and tier lists and that kind of stuff. The storming of the Capitol building was just oh god, yeah. Let's please not get into this conversation. I respect people's differing opinions on that, and we'll leave it at that. This is a metal live stream. We're gonna keep it metal focused. The Hobbit I never cared for, found it to be incredibly boring. Yeah. The book though, I like the book. Just watch the Rankin Bass animated movie, The Hobbit, or read the book. Yeah, absolutely. Crisis Alexis on Fire. Did that come out in 2006 too? Nice. Under Oath is so damn good. Yeah. Their comeback album, I was not too keen on. That was another one I was super hyped for. And it was just okay. It was a little bit softer than their other stuff, so I didn't like it as much. Monotheist is a monolithic album, absolutely. But yeah, Define the Great Line, man, from Under Oath. That's a sick album. And they're only chasing safety. Forget about it, dude. That's my jam right there. Like, I don't care how corny it is, how corny people think I am, but I love that like emo-y metalcore shit. Love it. I don't like the stuff that's kind of around now, that's sort of taking it too far. But when it's super catchy, like that whole album is, I sing along to every fucking note. I don't give a shit who's listening. Like that, so amazing. I love that album. Favorite metal albums in 2006 was All That Remains, Fall of Ideals. Yeah, stellar. Their last good album, I will say. Celtic Frost, Monotheist, Mastodon, Blood Mountain. Sixth, I so need to check out. Yes, you do. Start with Death of a Dead Day. Trust me. If you like mathcore, like genty mathcore, they basically started it. Like the funny thing is, like they were doing Periphery like 5 years before Periphery came out and was even a thing. And again, they were just ahead of their time. They're out of the UK, but then add on to that having that crazy, like almost Jonathan Davis like vocalist Mikey that does all this crazy shit with his voice, and they're just so cool. I was stoked when they came back. I hope they put out some more stuff. I was a little bummed that the other vocalist left, but the new guy seems to be filling in just fine. Their last album was decent. But yeah, Death of a Dead Day is just like flawless. Check out, if you just want one song to check out, Bland Street Bloom. Bland Street Bloom is just a mind fuck of a song. And it's so dynamic. It's so all over the place. It's so great. Iced Earth is done for after that whole shit show. Yeah, people, everybody can have their own opinions, and I'm totally open to it. I don't like arguing with people at this point. Celtic Frost came back big time with Monotheist after the disaster known as Cold Lake. Yeah, I hear bad things for sure about Cold Lake. Iced Earth is a mild band. Yeah, they're fine. They're just not really the sound I listen to. A friend calls them Walmart Iron Maiden. That's pretty good. I could see that. That's pretty good. Any news on the new Opsu? Believe me, man, I check back on that since before that was even announced. Like I was checking the Opsu page because again, I saw them play live here in Portland in 2017, 2017, somewhere around there. And they played a snippet of a live song, of a new song live. They played probably like 30 seconds of it. They're like, y'all want to hear part of a new song? And they tease us with it, and then nothing for like years. And then they break up. And so, yeah, I'm glad to hear we're still getting the music, but I have not heard any new news since the project was announced. Hey, sorry, I had to write something out. Yeah, no problem. Yeet Feet, welcome. Yeah, we're just chilling, just hanging out. Have you heard the new single by Emptiness? Bro, I've heard the whole album. I have heard the whole Emptiness album, and that is one of my reviews that I am so excited to share with everyone, because that is a weird fucking album. That's probably, even though it's still January, that is going to probably go down as one of the weirdest albums this year. I don't know how people are going to feel about it. I think the average metal fan is not going to get it, and that's fine. Like I try not to be I hate when people are like, bro, you just didn't get it and so you're just stupid. Like I don't mean it that way. I mean it's like, just like I don't get certain bands. Like I don't get why people love I mean, I talk about this every time, like the latest Anal Nath rock album. I don't get it. Like it's just not for me, and that's fine. I think that's this album's gonna be that way, but I really respect it a lot because they have balls for just doing whatever the fuck they want despite what their fan base may want. So I hope it does all right. Iced Earth are not that good. Yeah. What are your thoughts on I Prevail? I saw them live 2 years ago and they were fantastic, but I'm falling off them now. I've never really gotten into them, honestly, despite they're a metalcore band, right? Which is so it's weird because like I consider myself kind of first and foremost sort of a metalcore guy because that's what I came up on initially, besides new metal. Um, and so yeah, I just never really got into them. So I think I've heard certain songs and they were fine, but yeah, I'm sure they're good. I feel like most of those bands are good live. Like even bands that I don't particularly like, I'll bet if I saw them live, I'd be like, hey, that was really good. I've had that happen a couple times actually. I start their trash. Thoughts on Tool? Tool's awesome, of course, dude. I did a Tool tier list. I reviewed the latest album. That was pre Skull Mask too, by the way. My review of the latest Tool album. By the way, I have the crazy like LCD. I showed it in my last live stream, I think, the LCD screen release of it. And I liked it. I liked that album. But yeah, it's just that was one of my first, I think it's my first video review. And I just cut myself off at the neck and kind of joked. I did a little chair spin to make people think I was going to do a face reveal, but I didn't. And then I came up with the skull mask after that. Jamie Horsley, I always saw them as an inferior. A Day to Remember. Dude, A Day to Remember slaps. Especially, what's the name of that album with the, like, dude trapped in the hourglass? That's my favorite. With, like, Suckin' Sucks and all that on there. There's some bangers. They have a great combination of the just, like, pop punk sound with the metal sound. Love it. Love it to death. Anyone here besides me listen to Decrepit Birth? Yeah, I fuck around with Decrepit Birth a little bit. Nevermore I like way more than Iced Earth. They have a very unique blend of metal genres in their sound. I've listened to, that's fair. I haven't listened to a ton of Nevermore, but from what I have, I feel like that is a fair summation for sure. Emptiness is a band I've been wanting to get into, but the whiplash between switching from Black and Death to Gothic is a hard curve. Yeah, I wouldn't even call it Gothic. Like, what they do now, the genre tag they used was like misery pop, and I'm like, that's spot on. That's spot on what it is. I loved Not For Music. This is far weirder than that, though. Like, if you're expecting it to be more like Not For Music, it's not even that. Like, and that was already experimental as fuck. But no, this is just pure weirdness. Somebody at the beginning of the stream said they've gone more like over, and I think that's a closer comparison. Emptiness is a band that always interests me. Yeah, because they're just doing whatever, man. They don't seem to give a fuck. Like, they don't care. I'm sure that they know that not as many people are going to listen to the album as a result of the turn that they've taken, but they did it anyways, so props to them. Fear Inoculum was great. Yeah, I enjoyed it. Blackwater Rust, awesome. I don't know why some people hated on Fear Inoculum. It was really great in my opinion. I wouldn't say it was great, but it was good. It was good. It was enjoyable. I particularly, Numa is my favorite song on the album. It always just puts me in a great mood listening to it. Just a really chill, awesome, kind of motivational song. Yeah, good times. I think it's better than 10,000 Days, honestly. I'll put that out there. I love Tool, but sometimes the Uber fans and haters are obnoxious. Yeah, absolutely. And yeah, on both sides. Like, the people who just hate just because they love to hate, and then the people who are just like, Tool is the smartest band around, and you just don't understand. It's like, shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. Talk too much. Bro, you just don't get it. Sounds like every pretentious prog symphonic metal fan. Yeah, I know. Seriously. And now we can add to that list too, in case you didn't see my posts about it. Sadly, the Nocturnal Mortem fans, man, those guys are butthurt children as fuck. Like, holy shit. That just cracked me up too, because like I put together this tier list because I love Nocturnal Mortem. The whole purpose was to share my love of Nocturnal Mortem and the fact that I don't rank any of their albums below C tier. And to me, C tier is still good. Like, C, that's what C means. It's good but average. and still I had all these butthurt fans. Thankfully, the band was cool enough to share the video, which I was not expecting at all. But then all their fans jumped in and were just like, you ranked this one as a C. Hey, you're a noob and you have a flat hat, so your opinion's stupid. Like, that was literally all the comments. And I was just floored. I was like, wow. We have officially found one of the most toxic fan bases in metal. So fucking dumb. Where was I? A Day to Remember is great live, and I actually like their new song that everyone hates. Did I hear that? I probably did. I don't remember. I haven't liked their new stuff as much because it's almost like a little bit more sort of just sort of straight kind of, I don't know, like rock, which I like too, but I don't know. From them, I want something different. They don't do as much of the heavier stuff as anymore. I feel like, you lucky bastard, if they retain that atmosphere throughout the album, I'm happy, man. Please tell me it's worth the pre-order with Veed. Yeah, man. If you love Emptiness and you like that weird shit and you like the singles, then you're gonna love it. Like, I think that's a safe bet. So yeah, can't wait to share my review for that one. And been following them since Nothing But the Hole, which just like blew my mind. I still love that album. I like Tool, the band. Hate the Tool fans. Yeah, I'm like that with a lot of bands, honestly. Trifebicus. People are just jealous they aren't as good musicians as Tool. I learned how to play Numa on drums, and it's super hard. Yeah, dude, Danny Carey, fucking one of the best drummers out there. Really great. Seeing them live too, like, it's so cool because they had the drum set up front for us at Lollapalooza on this huge stage, and that was neat. Like, Danny's a wunderkind. Polaris, yeah, man, I love Polaris. Will be the biggest metalcore band one day. That's my prediction. They're basically, to me, like the new Under Oath. Like, whereas the new Under Oath album left me underwhelmed, everything Polaris does, like, basically out Under Oath's Under Oath is is how I feel about it. It's so good. Working on new material as well. I have a friend that knows Jamie and Jake. Oh, by the way, somebody asked me on the Discord, do you know what Loathe is teasing? And I did get a little word that it is going to be a full album. Loathe is dropping another full album in just a few days. Like a little over a week, I think. So that's crazy because we just got that last one and slaps. To me, that's a little overwhelming. I kind of like it when bands take their time, but if they are inspired and putting it out, then hell yeah. Listen to the song River Dragon by Nevermore. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. Some of the best damn metal you'll hear. Eat Feed I All's Air Drum Numa when I listen to it, and it's so complicated as fuck. Hell yeah. I avoid Nocturnal Morning because they're fans. I'm I'm 50-50 on folk metal. I love folk metal. It's got to be done right. Like the new Corporate Clowny is just kind of okay. It's a little bit sort of generic, but I'm always down for some good folk metal. Black metal stands are so toxic. Yes, absolutely. Oh my god, they're the worst. I think Nightwish fans are bad. Oh man, seriously. Yeah, Jamie, bringing the hits here. Like, you have a special reason too to hate Nightwish fans at this point too. I think that is totally fair. It's so crazy to me that band is so big too. I'd be interested to see like a documentary or something on them just to understand, like, how did they get so big? How did they get so popular? It's just interesting to me. Tool guitar wise is trickier than what people realize, those weird time signatures. A little bit. It's some of my favorite stuff to play though. Like, I feel like Tool riffs are pretty easy to play, but they're fun to play. Like, they're very fun, like, finger exercises almost, because it, like, kind of takes you all over the fretboard, and there's a fun, like, meter to it and everything. I love playing Tool. Tool's fun. Lots of hammer-ons and pull-offs, too. Like, it's just a good kind of playtime sort of stuff to play. Danny is technical as heck. When I was listening to it, I was like, how am I going to learn this? Blackwater Rust, I agree, even as a drummer. What really that's cool, I really liked their last album. Loathe, yeah. Yeah, man, they're just like ninja dropping it. I don't think anybody has it. I'm not sure they're gonna do any pre-press for it. Chris has been reaching out, we'll see what happens. But I think it's just gonna be what it is, and they're just gonna drop it. So yeah, that'll be cool. Oh, my metal station is playing the Operation Paralysis album by Dillinger Escape Plan. Fuck yeah, dude. There are no bad Dillinger Escape Plan albums. And that one probably was the one that took the longest to grow on me, but it is still has so many great moments, especially that opening track, man, is fucking ridiculous. The journey it takes you on. Maybe the quarantine accelerated the process for the new low. That was my theory too, as soon as I heard about it. Tool fans are literally just trolls, basically. Nightwish got so big because of reactions. I'm guessing I was one of the first ones to react to them, so it's my fault. How dare you, Jamie? You started all. Hey there, Flight. Hey, what's up, Watson? How you doing, man? I actually never know how to say your name properly. Come to think of it, because we've only spoken in writing. So if I'm not pronouncing that correctly, please do correct me. Maybe put it phonetically in the chat. Opeth and Enslaved are very fun to play on guitar as well. Yes, I totally agree. They've got some of that fun riffing going on there. I was listening to Winery Dogs. They are a good prog band. Not heard of them. Kind of a shitty name if you ask me. Winery Dogs. It makes me think of like Accept. And hopefully y'all saw my review for that. I feel like I was fair with it. I wasn't overly mean about it. It had its moments. It has its fun times. But yeah, overall, those are the types of albums I think of when and any band that has like dogs in their name, usually it like kind of cheeses me out. I actually enjoyed Steven Wilson's new album. It's so different. Dude, everything that guy does is different. Like, I feel like every single album he does, it's just, he's another one of those artists that kind of just does whatever and has gotten big enough that he can get away with it. So good on him for that. Hello, Omega. What's up, my dude? Welcome. My favorite stuff to play on drums is Tool, Rush, Dream Theater, Slayer, Metallica, Led Zeppelin. Led Zeppelin's fun, man. Led Zeppelin's fun to play. I love playing what is it, like Over the Hills and Far Away or whatever. That's one of my favorite acoustic songs to kind of warm up with. Your Discord link is expired. Really? That's lame. I don't know what's up with that. Let me drop it in the chat in case you need it. Discord. How long do those last for? Cause I'm new to Discord. I'll let y'all know. Like we just got started, but we're growing pretty decently. And it's nice to chat with people in there live. So let's see, invite people. And then I find the chat window. I'm such a boomer sometimes. There we go. That should work. Okay, so Winery Dogs is a Portnoy project. Fun fact too, if you did not check out Tala and didn't check out my Tala review or my interview I did with the vocalist, Portnoy's son is the drummer for Tala, and he is also very talented. So check those guys out too. I ended up picking up that album physical. I liked it enough. Like that was probably the biggest grower of 2020 for me, because I started with getting the promo email and somebody asking me, hey man, you should check this out, listening to one song and being like, nope, this is garbage. And then I got another promo and was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. And then I read up on it a little bit and was like, oh, okay, I'll check this out. And then I liked it enough that I did the interview and really had a fun time talking to him. And then it just like kept sticking with me. And I kept re-listening and I just re-listened to it again like a week ago. It gets better every time I listen to it, and I pick up on new things. So that is a really cool album. Matriphagy is what it's called. Let's see. Also, LTE3, I'm very excited for. LTE3, what's that? You have to clue me in on that. I haven't seen that particular acronym. Hello, I get that a lot. I just go by Shri. Yeah, that's what I've been calling you in my head a lot of times, Shri. Shriek without the K, I like that. I've only listened to like 3 or 4 metal albums properly so far this year. Dude, there's already a lot. So much has come out. It's been hard for me to keep up. OSI's Greatest All and Sons of Apollo. Are those Portnoy projects as well? I'm having trouble following this conversation. I know that Blackwater Rust left both Discords, lol. They left too? I know you did. People just taking a break, I guess. That's fine. Unless I smell. Like, if you, that's fine too, I guess, you know. It's all good. You should be able to set the link to never expire. Oh. Interesting. How do I do that? Oh. So my thing just made a noise. If my voice suddenly sounds super deep and weird, let me know, because that is... Oh, you know what? That was probably the tone of people joining the Discord. Yeah, I'll fuck with that later. Thanks for letting me know that. I need to do that, because that's probably pissing people off, because I've been leaving it in all the video comments now. At Jamie Horsley, yeah, I thought I would check out Sons of Apollo. Yes, Behemoth is my favorite band right now. The Satanist, man. But I will still stand by that they went from their best album, The Satanist, to their worst album, I Will Love You at Your Darkest. Now I can't even say the name right now. I fucking hate that title too. I gotta say, like, every time when I heard that title announced, I was like, what the fuck? Like, what kind of emo shit is this? And that's coming from the guy who just said he loves that, like, emo metalcore stuff. Like, I love that cheesy shit, but when it's Behemoth and I can tell that Nurgle's trying to be serious, I'm just like, Nurgle, what the fuck are you doing, man? Like, this is some like Twilight level, like, that would be like a Twilight chapter, is what that title sounds like. And that's how that whole album sounds to me, is it's just corny as fuck. Like, I just do not like it. But every other Behemoth album is on my shelf behind me. I fucking love Behemoth. And even moments on that album I'm fine with. It's definitely not the worst album of all time, for sure, but kind of sucks. Was very disappointed, I'll say that much. Sometimes we all feel like leaving Discord. Oh, well, I know QFM does it often. Yeah, he drops in and out. I don't understand it, honestly, because I guess I'm only on it basically to be in ours and to communicate with you all, and I barely use it. So, I mean, maybe there's some other toxic shit going on with it that behind the scenes that I don't know about. Doesn't bother me, honestly. I'd rather be on Discord with y'all any day of the week over Facebook, Twitter. I like Instagram. Like, for the most part, Instagram stays pretty chill. So it's just like, whatever. But yeah, I fucking hate, like, I've trained myself out of scrolling on Facebook. I remember the day that Facebook was just like sharing memes, and, you know, it was mostly just college kids just being meme lords and sharing YouTube videos and cat pictures and all that shit. And it was just so fun. And now it just is just a trash heap. Fuck Facebook, man. And it just keeps getting worse. I would love to just drop Facebook completely. And honestly, like, how it's done wrong, like ban pages and site pages, like, people barely see what I post from Facebook anyways, so it's like not even worth the time. So eventually it will probably come to a point where I'll just dump Facebook, because fuck that shit, man. I got zucked. Metal Trenches done got zucked. Where was I? That was quite a tangent and a rant. Discord was getting to be way too distracting for me. I could see that. I tend to not get too distracted by social media as much anymore. I'm more distracted by, like, projects I want to do, and sometimes video games. Remember when your first stream started as a normal metal talk before we got into politics? Yeah, we almost did a second ago, because someone brought up the raid on the Capitol, but we're not going to go there. We're not going to go there. Not today. Not today. I'm a teen, and my friend and I made a band, and we are looking for a bass player and a singer. Don't expect the album to be out soon, though. Hey, yeah, good for you, man. Just dive in. Get it. You got to start somewhere. It's been a long time. I haven't done that since, like, high school, honestly. And I said this before because my dad brought it up in the last stream, that I have a DVD of me doing that should be my face reveal, come to think of it. If we get to like 10,000 or so, maybe I'll consider doing that. That'll be my face reveal, is it's like 17-year-old me doing a Battle of the Bands as a vocalist, trying to do my best kind of like Taproot imitation. Dressed very new metal, probably wearing like Jenko jeans, bad spiked, probably blonde tipped hair, the whole 9 yards, man. The studded bracelets, all that. I was in all that. I'll probably rejoin. Oh wait, yeah, I understand. I'll probably rejoin. No, it's all good, man. Don't worry about it. You do you. We've got plenty. You're always up in my comments, so I'm more than happy for you to be happy. Where was I? The chat jumped ahead. Glad y'all are so active right now. Pandemonic Incantation sucks. Oh, from Behemoth. Yeah, it's just whatever. I can't remember where I ranked that in my tier list. We could find out. Fuck it. Fuck it. We'll do it live. Let me find that video, and I'll just like skip forward. What am I gonna do? Get claimed by myself? Although again, the video probably won't play properly for you, but at least it'll be a fun little experiment here, just to see if I can find where I ranked that album. I'll just skip to the end. The video's been out long enough now. I encourage people to watch it, but I think is that a pre-face cam video? It might be. I might have to consider redoing that then. Let's see. So Behemoth. That's doing all right. 715 views. Oh no, I have face cam. It's an earlier face cam one. Oh man, dude, I love going back and looking at my videos, even just from like early, like look at this. This was Valentine's Day. How appropriate. So just almost exactly a year ago, like the lighting's all fucked. My mask is on weird. My glasses are crooked. I don't know if y'all can see this on your end. I hope you can. Let me look in the streaming area. I don't know if you can see properly. That's too bad. But yeah, I look like shit in this video, but it's fun. It's all good. Let me skip forward here. Plus, I need to remember even which album cover that is. Incantations. Yeah, that's the one I thought it was. Okay, I just want to be sure. So I put it at C tier. So not all the way at the bottom. I know I riled a lot of people up by putting Dilemma at D tier. People didn't like that. People didn't like that too much. But I've always got like, it wouldn't be a Metal Trenches tier list without at least one hot take is the way I look at it. I don't do it on purpose, but I feel like I've become infamous for that. In that, yeah, if you're watching a Metal Trenches tier list, there will be at least one what the fuck moment at some point during that. And again, I'm sorry that the video doesn't display properly, but I'm still trying to figure out how to get OBS to work properly. Always trying to try new things here. Starting to lose my voice here. So mostly because of homework and personal projects I'm working on. Yeah, good for you, man. You got to focus on school. School's important. I definitely did. Like, I know I do a lot of this now, but that's because I worked my ass off, and I still work my ass off and do this when I have the time and try not to get distracted by other stuff. I love Grom. Got the CD of it, and it's so different to the YouTube version. Yeah, dude, you can't really judge an album from a YouTube version most of the time, I found, because, like, the compression just really fucks it. Jamie Horsley says, boo. I'm not sure which thing that's in relation to, but maybe you can clue me in, because I'm kind of behind on the chat now. What a subtle name for an album, The Satanist. Yeah, man. Well, watch the interview with Nergal on that album, because he talks about that, and he said it just came to him on an airplane. And he was just like, it's so obvious. Like, how has nobody done this as an album title? So he snatched it up, and I was like, damn, dude, that's great. Nergal's so funny in interviews. I really like him. He's so different from, like, his stage presence. He's, like, kind of a hipster. I mean, he owns a fucking barbershop. The only Behemoth album that sucks is Pandemonic Incantations, along with a Forest EP. Yeah, Forest EP is fucking lame too in the cover because it fucking sucks. Sometimes Discord can feel like you're mainlining Reddit comments. I could see that. I haven't gotten there yet, thankfully, because we're just a nice little small tight knit community at this point. But one day it probably won't be that. I loved you at your darkest. Wasn't bad. It ain't worth the vinyl purchase. Yeah, definitely not. Definitely not. It's not terrible. It just kind of sucks, in my opinion. I loved you at your darkest and Pandemonic Incantations. I can't stand. The rest of Behemoth's discography is good, though. Yeah, more than good. Yeah, Demigod, The Satanist. Dude, you named my top 3 right there. That is my triad of greatness when it comes to Behemoth. Sometimes I'll be in class on Zoom watching YouTube. No, Yeet Feet, don't do it. Don't do it. I know, that's the danger of virtual classes right now. I catch my daughter doing it too. My top 5 for Behemoth. All right, I'm going to name these real quick and then I'll get the rest of the comments. So, Omega Death saying Zoskia Cultus. Yes, that's in my top as well. The Apostasy, Evangelion, Demigod, The Satanist. Yeah, I think you nailed mine almost exactly. I think I would probably actually put Zoskia Cultus at number 4 and then The Apostasy at number 5. It's the only difference I would make. Fresh news, I'm ready to just smash down 2 alpha brains. So, good lord. Excuse me. Yeah, I have a Facebook page with over 38k fans and only 5% see the post. It's rubbish. Yeah, man. It sucks. And yeah, I see YouTube coming that way too. Absolutely. It's shit, man. Like, people put in all this work and they're hustling and they're growing their audiences, and then the man steps in and says, "Nope." It's like, why? Like, it blows my mind. It's just so weird. We've given these tech companies way too much power. And as much as I understand why Trump's Twitter got shut down, and it's not really about Trump for me, the idea that we've let tech companies get so big that they can simultaneously just like shut somebody out of the public discourse, that's like some 1984 shit to me. That scares the fuck out of me. I don't like that. I do not like that. But anyways, we're not doing politics. Do you know band called Sky Came Falling, and what do you think about them? That sounds very familiar. That sounds like a MySpace core band or something, which I'm totally into, but I cannot recall right now, and I could be totally wrong, so you'll have to clue me in. Classes are so fucking boring. I always turn off my cameras and microphone on Zoom. Guys, you gotta pay attention. I'm serious. Pay attention to your schoolwork. You will get so much further in life. I know some of these classes are bullshit. Some of it you're never going to use again, but get the grades, pass the classes, and, just do it. Just do it so that you can get to the next tier, basically. It's worth it. Trust me. I've been there. But yeah, left Discord due to homework and doing some fun personal recording projects. I didn't want distractions. Good for you, man. That stuff's more important than Discord or any social media. I work with kids, in our programs that have serious social media addictions, and it is like quite literally ruining their lives, like making them suicidal, in fact. And we don't need that. Like, you're better off without it if you can. Yeah, it's cool. Completely understand Discord's way too active sometimes. Somebody's message got retracted. Not sure what that was. Okay. What is the hardest song you've learned on guitar? Are you asking me? Ugh. Man, it's been so long, because honestly, I barely play anymore. Because I spend basically all my free time goes to recording videos. And I don't have that much of it because I'm always doing family stuff and work. So it's hard for me to even remember kind of what I thought the hardest one was. Honestly, there are some like As I Lay Dying songs that I had a kind of a hard time with, but I kind of suck too. So there you go. Like, I don't practice as much as I should have. There was a good window where I was getting pretty good at it, and then I sort of let it slip. But yeah, there you go. Smoke on the Water. Oh my god, everybody can play Smoke on the Water. Isn't Nurgle an actual Satanist as well? I don't think so. If I recall, I don't think he is. But in any case, like, Satanism isn't really what most people think it is, if you really look into it. There's a good documentary, I think it was on Hulu. It's a great documentary about how they were trying to get the Baphomet statue next to the statue of the Ten Commandments. Watch that documentary. It's really good. I forget what it's called, but it was really interesting. Snakefather Shapeshift. Okay. What's that? I don't know what we're referencing here. Blackwater Rust, yes. What's the best add-on subgenre in metal? Like the genre which by itself cool, but ooh, and mixed with others becomes so much better. That's a great question. Black and Thrash jumps to mind. That's one of my favorites because like I kind of like thrash, and I like black metal a lot. But I love when you join those together. Like there's just some magic that happens there. So I think that, and then um, I think the whole new metal with hardcore thing, like Code Orange, I think that's really cool too. I think that sounds fucking badass. It just gets super heavy and grimy and groovy. It's awesome. What else? I feel like I listen to it. Those are tend to be kind of my favorite bands to review and talk about these days. Are mashup bands where it's just kind of all over the place, like Igor, where it's just like everything, like it's like the fucking kitchen sink when it comes to Igor. But yeah, those are the main ones that come to mind. I'll be interested to hear what other people think about that. The man has hit me across the head on my channel, but I'll still create the high quality videos I can make even if I get low views and don't earn any money. You know, yeah, I respect you for that, Jamie. Like, absolutely. And it fucking sucks, though. It really does. Like, I've said this before, but I hate what these companies are doing to their own platforms just to appease really what amounts to, I think, a small percentage of people that aren't going to affect their bottom line at all. Like they should be focusing in on their customers, but everybody's just so caught up in bullshit. It's just bullshit. Satanism is dope, says Trifabecus. That's a great. I want to like cap that. Satanism is dope. I can't even say your name. Trifabecus. Trifabecus 2021. Satanism is dope. It's not a guitar store if there's not a person playing Smoke on the Water. Stairway to Heaven. Yeah, I've been guilty of the Stairway stuff in the background. I usually went in and play Incubus. Those are some of my favorite songs to play. Are from Make Yourself and Morning View. Man, they fell off, didn't they? Fucking Incubus, dude. Man, there was a long period in high school where Incubus was my favorite band, and not anymore. But I still love those albums. Hardest song I have learned on guitar is Octavarium by Dream Theater. Oh, I could see that. Hail Satan? Another good comment from Shree. Hardest song I have learned on drums is Numa by Tool. Oh, that's the documentary. Which one was it? Oh, Hail Satan is the documentary? Yeah, I think. Okay. Yeah. I think it is called Hail Satan with a question mark. Good one. Octavarium is a nightmare to play full 20 minutes to. Oh, Jesus Christ, yeah. I can't even imagine like a marathon run of that. Yeah, it's a good documentary. I was actually going to learn Octavarium. Dance of Eternity is pretty hard to play as well. My favorite subgenre is Black and Death and Death Doom. Yeah, Black and Death, that's just... I feel like that's become such a big genre on its own, though, that it's like... Even that's becoming a little bloated for me. Whereas Black and Thrash, I feel like there's still like a lot of room for new blood with that, and I have some stuff coming on that front as well. Quite a few things. Those are some great genre mixes for sure. I also love when crust gets added to stuff. Hell yeah, dude! Crust just makes everything dirtier and grimier. It's awesome. Thrash plus crust, sludge, yeah, sludge core kind of stuff with the crust elements. Great. I wish you the best on learning Octavarium. Yeah, man. Thoughts and prayers. F's in the chat preemptively. Mike Portnoy's drum cam on Octavarium is good to watch. I'll have to check that out. There's a cool React guy. I don't watch too many React people, honestly, personally, even though I do them. It's kind of funny. Like, there's a lot of stuff like that, though, too. Like, I don't watch a lot of metal reviews. Like, mostly just the ones from the people that we formed a community with here, too. But I also don't watch a lot of reactions. But there's a guy who's like he's like a jazz trained drummer, I think. And he reacts to a lot of metal. And I don't know if he's been as active lately because I think YouTube started fucking him over, but like a lot of people. But he's really interesting because he knows his shit and he's like a super technical guy. And so he watched like Meshuggah and Dream Theater and all that crazy kind of stuff. So he's pretty entertaining because he gives like a full analysis. It's not your typical like, I really, even though I did that whole video about how I appreciate reaction videos because they expose more people to the music. But I could never be the oh, big reaction. Oh my god, this is so crazy. Like, that gets when it feels fake. I don't like that. But I still am glad it exists because it exposes more people to music they might not otherwise hear. So there you go. But if I'm gonna watch a reaction, I want it to be from somebody who like knows their shit. I also really like I think it's like GQ or something. Or maybe it's Empire. I don't know. There's one of those like magazine type channels. They do like, a real lawyer reacts to court scene dramas from movies and TV shows, or a real life ex gangster comments on gangster films or something. Those are really interesting to me because these are people with like real life experience and they can kind of give their own 2 cents on their thoughts on stuff. Like, to me, that's more interesting, which is why I try to do like more commentary and more of my like review and analysis at the end, as opposed to just like, plus I'm wearing a mask, so you can't really like see me getting all wide-eyed and crazy anyways, so there's no point in trying to do that. Chat's taken off about learning things. Hardest song for me to play on piano is Therianthropy by Septic Flesh. Yeah, that would be a tough one. Good shit. Glad you play piano, too. I played piano back in the day. Took lessons. My piano teacher died. And then we just never got another piano teacher. Rest in peace, my grade school piano teacher. Jamie Horsley, yeah, I might need to watch it again for learning the song. I actually learned by ear. That's pretty cool. Yeah, I kind of, with guitar, I'm kind of that way too. I learn mostly by ear and then using some tabs. I'm shit at reading music, even though I can a little bit from playing piano, but I suck at, when it comes to guitar, like, to me, reading music makes sense translating that to piano, but for some reason, mentally, it does not make sense transferring that to a fretboard. I don't know, it just is not intuitive for me. I prefer the tabs. Thinking of learning Violation on piano. That'd be cool. Gonna head out. Good night, guys. Good night, Teed Feet. Thanks for stopping in. Can't believe I've been doing this almost 2 hours. Holy shit, it's almost 11? What the fuck? I bet my kids have like passed out on the couch. Haha, I used to do that. That's why I stopped. Yeah, I'm glad, Jamie. I'm glad. I haven't watched your old reactions, but I'm almost scared to. Because unfortunately, like, that's what draws people attention, but not me. Like, I don't like it. So I kind of get when people are kind of turned off when I even post my video somewhere and they're like, ugh, we don't need reaction videos here. And I'm kind of like, I wish you'd give it a chance because I feel like I'd do it a little bit differently, but I get it. Like, because I feel the same way about the really animated over the top stuff. The good thing about learning dissection songs is learning some Melodeath, Mellow Black, and Black and Death inspired guitar harmonies, rhythms that will be beneficial for my Black and Grind project. Hell yeah, dude. That'd be sick. Yeah. I think that's a great idea, because if you inject some of that like melody into it, it'll make it more interesting. Because like grind in and of itself, and even Black and Grind, I feel like has kind of been done to death. No pun intended. So you gotta like have a little twist on it. Sure, yeah, I haven't followed a lot of the metal reaction videos, but when Lost in Vegas channel started doing, I actually enjoyed. Yeah, Lost in Vegas is I would include them as one of my top ones I actually enjoy watching because they're like really chill. They don't do the over the top stuff. They're really understated. They have a good conversation, and yeah, they're more engaging. I like them. I actually enjoy how some of their video gives you a different non-metalhead perspective. Yeah, and not in like a oh this metal is crazy. It's more so like oh like whoa that kind of was interesting, and then they talk about why it was interesting. Learning about ear is very beneficial actually. Yeah, yeah, it's kind of like learning a language. It's better to do it conversationally than by like learning individual words because you don't have to like translate. You're eliminating an extra step in your brain where you have to like go from note to music to brain. Like you're going straight from music to brain. I think that makes sense. Wish I could see one of Jamie's old reactions. Go watch them, man. They're there, aren't they? Or did you take them all off? Did they get removed? I can't remember what you said about that. Oh, they're privated, so no one subscribes. Yeah, man, you don't need any more subscribers from that. I think that's become clear, unfortunately. Let's see. I wish I 900 plus reaction. Are you serious? I didn't realize you had that many. Holy shit, dude. That's crazy. I always got recommended the one with your dad. I never watched it, but I thought that was cute because I did the one with my daughter. Um, Part of me kind of wanted to watch, but I don't watch. I watch. I told you guys I watch Red Letter Media. I watch Chris Raygun. I watch Game Grumps. I watch PewDiePie. Like that's the stuff I watch on YouTube. I don't really watch a lot of like metal related content, but it is fun to see how much crossover there is because a lot of time these creators will like wear like a metal shirt. Like PewDiePie wears the like Death Heaven shirt. He has a few times, and like I one of the guys from Red Letter Media was wearing some crazy like black metal looking shirt at one point. I couldn't even read what it was, and I was trying to figure out what band it was. So that can be kind of fun too. I like AMP reacts for his reviews and interviews, but I've never watched his reactions. Yeah, AMP is pretty cool. I actually chatted with him a little bit the other day. He seems like a pretty cool dude. Lost in Vegas guys' reaction honestly seemed genuine. That's what I like about them. Yeah, they do seem genuine article. Hi, what do you think of bands like Today Is the Day, Neurosis, and Yakuza? All sick. Um, yeah, I liked that Yakuza album. Neurosis is cool. I never like fully got into Neurosis. I know there's like a huge following for them, but I like them enough. And Today Is the Day is pretty sick. Fun little story. I don't know if I should share this or not. Fuck it, I'll share it a little bit. So I'll try to share it without getting too crazy. But when the new album was coming out, so Charlie Fell, who I stay in contact with from Lord Mantis, cool dude. We've got interviews with us on the podcast if you want to hear us interacting, but we've chatted a lot like behind the scenes, and he's just like he's had my back, and in some situations I've had his, and we've kind of developed a little bit of a distance friendship. I did get to meet him in person too at the Cobalt show that they played out here, and yeah, that was really cool. But yeah, he was going to play drums on that new Today Is the Day album, but it ended up not working out, as they say, unfortunately. So that didn't end up happening. But Charlie is just an all-around talented dude. He's done drumming for multiple albums. I think he's done drumming for what's that black metal band? They just dropped an album too. It's like a girl's name is like the name of the band. Why can I not fucking I do this on live stream all the time, and then as soon as I'm off the stream I remember maybe somebody it comes to mind for them. But yeah, and then he's just a wicked vocalist too. And then he plays the bass too, and he's awesome. Cool guy. Yeah, no one overhead 80k views was a Nightwish reaction. Yeah. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's like I see why people do it because you can pull those numbers and you can I I'm a little confused though, because like you can pull numbers, but you can't really pull income because most of it gets claimed. But some of those channels have figured out subtle ways to like fuck with the picture and the pitch just enough that it doesn't get picked up by YouTube. But eventually YouTube's algorithm is just going to get too smart for them too. So I imagine we'll see a lot of those kind of drop off because it's kind of obvious to me that some of them are just doing it for the money. But it's whatever. You gotta make that paper. Like I always say. You do you. It's all good as long as you're not hurting anybody. The guys of Gojira and Mastodon, I think, are huge fans of The Lost in Vegas. They've invited those guys to some of their shows. Oh, really? I didn't know that. That's pretty cool. Bill Burr came out to Meshuggah show. There's a great, I'm going to find that picture. There's a great picture of the comedian Bill Burr hanging out with Meshuggah because Bill Burr is an aspiring drummer. And as most drummers do, he discovered Meshuggah, and on his podcast he started talking about how crazy and awesome they are, and I'm guessing that led to them having this interaction. So here is, man, that's a shit version of the picture. I'm sure there's a better version of this picture. This is kind of better, so let me pull that up. Oh, you can't even see it. Let me do full screen. Oh, it's on Twitter. Oh, here we go. I think you can see that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. Meshuggah just seem like cool dudes. But yeah, anyways, just random other facts. I love Bill Burr too. I love his sense of humor. His stand-up's funny. His show F is for Family is funny. They do some pretty crazy shit. He's just so off the wall. He gets so angry. I love it. Megadeth, you dropped your comment. Lost in Vegas reaction to Mr. Bungles. My ass is on fire. I haven't watched that one. I'll have to check that out. Necro was, I'm guessing that's Anal Nathrak at their most savage, evil, and most nihilistic. Quest for Metal was once a reaction channel. I did not know that. He changed his content when he was at 1K. He used to react to a Turkish singer. The fans were insane. Dude, I wish I could have seen that. That would be funny. I could see how he could be a really good reaction channel though. He just has that personality. He has that energy to him that I think people like to watch. Like I attribute, again, I said this on the last podcast, he just has this like very kind of magnetic personality to him that's just like perfect for what he does, and so people like to watch it, and so he gets the views, and I respect that. Bill Burr is cool as fuck. He's admitted to be a fan of Meshuggah, Gojira, and Slipknot. Yeah, dude. Bill Burr is a gangsta. That's what I loved about Conan. Like old school Conan, he would bring on musical guests that nobody would. Like back in the day, nobody was gonna have fucking Slipknot play their late night show, but Conan did. Like Conan just had them on, because why the fuck not? And like he did shit like that all the time. It's awesome. I respect the musicianship of Meshuggah. Bleed seems near impossible to play, but I don't like their music at all. There was a long period where I didn't that was a band that I sort of like, I didn't get it. And some people, again, it's just not for you, and that's fine. But at one point it like clicked. Part of it for me was the vocals and feeling like it was really bland. But at one point I saw an interview with the band and they were talking about how they treat every instrument, including the vocals, as percussion. And as soon as I heard that, it was just like a mind switch for me where I was like, oh, that totally makes sense. So when I'm hearing the vocals, I'm not listening to the vocals I would any other band. It's more just another part of the rhythm. And it fits so well in that way. And I still say Koloss is just the sickest fucking album. That album's so good. I found the only way for me to enjoy Meshuggah is when I'm tripping. Otherwise, it's nah from me. Dude, also, I saw them live. Code Orange opened for them. What a fucking show that was at the Crystal Ballroom. Holy shit. Like the floor was shaking because the stage is on the second floor. And I was afraid that it was going to cave in, like legitimately. That shit was like Code Orange just like ripped it up, and then Meshuggah came out and just destroyed. Like that was such a good show. And it was so cool to be like in front. I was really glad not to be in the audience cuz like I um got like a press pass, so I was like standing in front of the barrier for a bunch of the songs, didn't have to get like crushed, and it was so cool. I have pictures from that. You know, I should share those too. Um if I can find them. I think they're on my other drive. I wonder if that's gonna fuck up my voice, my shit too. Actually, maybe they're on here. Let me see if I can find them. Where would they be? But yeah, I was like right up, and Jen's like was right in my face, like screaming into his microphone. It was so surreal to be in that situation. Same with like Dark Tranquility as well. Fuck, where would those pictures be? They be in here? No, that's not it. Shit. Oh wait, they're probably here. Let's see. Here we go. I think I can find them. Here we go. Concerts. Tolke, Cobalt, Absu. Those Absu pictures look like shit, unfortunately. Where's Meshuggah? Fuck, did I lose those? I would be pissed. That was a sick fucking show. I even have some old pictures from Lollapalooza. That's pretty rad. Fuck. Where are they? Well, hopefully I have them saved somewhere else. I do have pictures from other concerts here, but I don't have that one for some reason. Where was I? Halloween is the Judas Priest of power metal. Okay. Stradivarius is the Iron Maiden of power metal. Again, I don't listen to enough power metal, so I'm trying to make a change with that this year and trying some new stuff. Jamie says he was an okay reaction channel. His newer content is so much better. Yeah, I'm sure. Yeah, yeah, and he did turn his fans into viewers. Like, yeah, he's done an amazing job with his channel. Bill Burr is one of the best comedians, period. Dude is hilarious. Yeah. Yeah, he's up there, man. In this generation, that generation of comedians, my favorite will always be George Carlin. May he rest in peace. But yeah, man, Bill Burr is the shit. I don't like any of the bands Bill Burr likes except Gojira, but I do respect his opinions completely. If I was a comedian, I would love if Opeth just played for me. Hell yeah. Fuck it, any band. Yeah, dude. Speaking of Code Orange, I found out they're from Pittsburgh. Yeah. And 20 Buck Spin is based out of here. I picked a decent city to move to. Hell yeah, dude. You gotta make a visit. You gotta hop on over there. Tell me how it goes. Mike Ackerfeld's stage banter is comedy gold. So I hear. I'm still kicking myself because I went to the first Sounds of the Underground and that lineup was stacked. It was so fucking sick. And it was like fucking Opeth, Gwar, Lamb of God headlined. I think Norma Jean was there. Fucking dude, everybody was at this show. Like everybody. Poison the Well was there. Why can't I think of the name? Anyways, it was huge, and I did not watch Opeth. I didn't watch Opeth's set, so I was a fucking idiot back then and didn't understand how good they were until later. I did a similar thing with Mastodon. Like I went to a show where they were there, but there were a bunch of other bands I was more into, and I kind of half watched their set because again, I'm a fucking moron. So there you go. Slipknot is the best band from the worst metal genre. I can't get into them after being so used to long solos and high pitched singing. I still love their first two albums. Like that's all I need from them is the self-titled and Iowa. I don't need anything else. I've seen Meshuggah live 3 times, festival setting. While good, it felt the crowd was just waiting for Bleed. I need to see a headliner someday. Yeah, dude, they were really good as a headliner. Didn't he once order McDonald's or something on stage, Michael? That would be awesome. Absu I checked out a few days ago. They're sick. Yeah, dude. Absu, fucking Terra, forget about it, man. Terra's fucking amazing. And then the Absu, where I'm losing track because they do a series where they just spell Absu differently. It's the one with the Z. ABZU is the one with the green album cover. That one is fucking amazing. That one's so good. If you want a little bit nicer production, a little bit more modern sheen on it. They also did a one-off music video for Adult Swim. I forget the name of the song, but it is such a sick song. And it's a really cool video too. It's got some like Cthulhu vibes and like Lovecraft. There's like tentacles coming out of this chick in like a church. It's fucking, it's so cool. I'm gonna look it up. I won't play it because again, it's not gonna play right. But I want to at least tell you all what the name of the song is because I honestly really want you to check it out. Come on, man. I need that. I need a soundboard. I wish I had a soundboard so I could do like the Biden. Come on, man. Absu music video. They only have like 2. The Hall of Masters is the name of the song. And I would encourage actually watching the music video with it because it is awesome. A few days ago, me and a few mates on Jamie's Discord were talking a bunch of shit about White Him, Black Metal, Closet Elitist, Jimmy from the Block, and Slam. I don't know what any of those are. Maybe I should be thankful. I don't know. I'm not allowed on Jamie's Discord. Jamie, you got to help me understand, man, because there was a little bit of drama behind the scenes. I'm not going to lie, because all of a sudden, Quest for Metal disappeared, and then I could not join. It told me I was banned. Even though the only word I had said on your Discord was, hey. And then all of a sudden I was banned. And I was like, what the fuck? What happened? So I don't know what's going on at all on Jamie's Discord because I'm not allowed there, apparently. I'm not welcome there. I don't know. Maybe it's the color of my skin. I don't understand. But it's all good. Like I said, I'm barely on Discord anyways, so it doesn't matter to me. If Savantage counts as power metal, they're easily one of my favorites. Haven't listened to them. Gonna have dinner now. Thanks for the stream. Thanks for joining, Jamie. Really appreciate it. Thanks for being a friend. USPM is a treasure trove. What's US power metal? Okay. Quest for Metal is the most wholesome dude man I watch in his heavily censored platform. Guy's also joyful and full of life for a guy who worships doom. Laugh my ass off. Yeah, dude. There's something about him. Like some people I just made to be in front of a camera, and he seems to be one of them. I found a live show from when before Tommy Karavik was in Camelot and Fabio was the live transition. But which Fabio are we talking about here? Because again, mind you, I don't know anything about these bands. Like I know who Camelot is, but I never like really followed them. So what Fabio are we talking about? Are we talking about the Fabio? I didn't imagine that, but he was getting a bit smitten around Simone Simmons, and it made me uncomfortable. There's some really good looking female power metal vocalists, man. Norma Jean's Wrongdoers album is sick as fuck. Yeah, dude. I just love Norma Jean in general. Wrongdoers was sick. Fuck. Instead of stumbling over this again, I'll just pull up their discography so I don't fuck this up. Even though they're all sitting on the shelf behind me, like every single one of them. So my favorites are Redeemer, Meridional, and Wrongdoers. Those are my top 3. And then it's very close after that, Bless the Martyr and Oh God, the Aftermath. And then the Anti-Mother's decent, but not very consistent. And then the last 2 are just kind of okay. Polar Similar, was not very memorable. And All Hail had, a lot of filler, if you ask me. But still all totally decent stuff. I've even listened to their official first album where they were still called Ludicrous. And I also enjoy the Chariot quite a bit as well. QFM or the bot blocked you for some reason. You are welcome. Thank you, Jamie. Yeah, I just don't understand why. I could never figure it out. And I don't know if I like pissed him off or something, but we're on speaking terms now and we're cool. But I just don't know what happened. I legitimately, it was just one of those things where just one day I just woke up and I was like, have I been like cast out? Like, what did I do? I don't understand what I did. But yeah, thank you for that. Fabio Leone. Okay. The band I regret skipping live the most before I would get to love them is Cradle of Filth. Oof. Big oof. Oof. Did not listen to Cradle of Filth until the beginning of quarantine when it finally clicked. Yeah, man. And I gotta say, dude, their new albums are their best albums. Easily. Like, they're going through such a renaissance right now. And I think partially it's because they finally picked up a guitar player who's worth a damn. Like, they have musicians now that actually like play really awesome metal music. They've always, to me, like a lot of their earlier albums are really inconsistent and the guitars are kind of just okay. They have their moments, but it's mostly driven by like the symphonic elements. But now they've got like super heavy fucking guitars, like with riffs that you actually remember, and it's just so good for their sound. It really is. Like, I fucking love the last two albums. They're just so strong. Top-notch stuff. That bot was causing problems, lol. Interesting. Hopefully it was just the bot then. Because when Quest for Metal reached out to me, it was like nothing happened. So I was just like, oh, I don't know. Hi, everybody. Also, thanks for introducing me to Portrayal of Guilt. You're welcome, man. I always love... Please... all of you, let me know when I introduced you to something, because that makes me so happy, because that is honestly what I originally developed the website for and this channel for, was to expose people to stuff they had not heard before. Like, I don't mind, like, I love talking with people who already know about bands, and that's fun, but the goal, number one goal at the end of the day, every single time, is for new people who have not heard a band to check them out. That's why I do the Best of Bandcamp series in particular, and I try to do that as often as possible. And that's why I do the roundup and I try to include stuff. I'm also trying to do more shout outs at the end of some of my other videos. Like with the Corpa Klani video, I did a shout out for Blodiga Skald because they put out a really sick folk metal album that I thought was quite honestly much better. And nobody knows who they are. So it really gets me stoked when I hear somebody tell me that, like, hey, I'd never heard of this band and now they're like my favorite band. So you're welcome, dude, and thank you for letting me know that. New album's so damn good, and last album was damn good. Yeah, for sure, man, for sure. They just knocked it out of the park with this one, and I'm so glad that they're getting so much attention for it, because I was worried that it was going to be one of those albums that would kind of just linger around in obscurity. But they seem to be developing a pretty decent momentum with their fan base. I forced Jamie to kill the bot because it almost banned me. Yeah, again, like, I don't know. How could it have banned me? Because I didn't do it. Does it ban people if they, like, just don't... Maybe if you don't talk after a certain number of days, it just automatically eliminates you? That would be a decent guess. Because it's like you're not contributing, so why have you in there? So, yeah, I don't know. I'm going to get to bed. Thank you for the stream. Good night. Thank you for joining, Shree. Glad to have you on here. Come back again. Hell yeah, my metal station is playing The Constellation of the Black Widow. Hell yeah. Listening to the same bands gets to be very boring. Yeah, dude. It does. Like, I have my classics. I have my go-tos. Like, I always love going back to White Pony. I always love going back to Koloss. I love revisiting discographies. Especially for tier lists and stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I really like hearing new stuff. And honestly, I'll add on to that. What I hate more than hearing the same albums over and over again is hearing new bands put out albums I've already heard, basically, is the way I'd put it. Like, stuff I've already heard a million times before, just recycled. And sometimes a band just does it well enough that it doesn't matter. And maybe they even, like, do it better than the original. And that's cool. But I don't really like reviewing albums where it just feels like same old, same old. Like, I'll do it sometimes. Like, I'm sure that Accept album is one of those. But I hadn't been listening to Accept, so it was kind of like, oh, this will still be fun for me because I don't know what to expect exactly. Like more or less I do, but not as much as maybe other people who listen to Accept do. But yeah, most of all, I just want to check out stuff like that's just cutting edge, that just like does not give a fuck. Like stuff like Emptiness, stuff like Igor, stuff like Poppy, even. Like that's what I'm all about. Like I want to hear that next new thing that just like totally makes my head explode. It's like the meme, the brain meme. That's the shit I want. Trenches, what is your top 5 metal genres? Mine are heavy, prog, power, thrash, and black. I'll probably get chewed out a little bit for this, but probably melodic death metal, metalcore, black metal, progressive death metal. That's 4, right? And then what would be the 5th? I feel like I'm like not even thinking about all the genres right now. Those are the main ones that kind of jump out at me at this moment. But yeah, I'd have to think about that some more. Oh, mathcore. I'd throw mathcore in there. They're always up there for me. I fucking love anytime like some random mathcore musicians throws me some shit. There's like an almost 100% guarantee I'll share it because it's such a niche genre, and I just love the shit out of it. Like ever since college, somebody introduced me to like Horse the Band and the Number 12 Looks Like You and all that shit, and I was just off to the races. That's how I eventually found Sixth too. I always find myself going back to Stabbing Westward, Darkest Days, and Wither constantly. I adore them too much. Like I love going back to listening to Emperor, Megadeth, Iron Maiden, Carcass, but I try to find well-established bands I've never listened to or newer underground bands. Hell yeah. Have you ever had the problem where you listen too much to new shit and neglect old favorites? Yeah, dude, all the time. In fact, I reflect on this all the time. You all need to understand, like, and also if you're ever somebody who's submitted music to me and I haven't covered it, I apologize. And you need to understand, like, I legitimately get dozens to hundreds of emails a day. And it just the momentum keeps picking up. It's just insane. The amount of shit I get. So there's just no way. And especially for my own like mental health and the fact that I have a family and everything. Speaking of which, speak of the devil, her ears were burning. What was I saying? So I just can't cover it all. But yeah, along with that is kind of the lament of, God, I wish I had more time to like go back and listen to my favorites. Also, I was thinking about this the other day too, where I'm not sure I'll ever have those albums like I did in high school anymore, where they're like my classics. Because for me, it's like always on to the next thing, on to the next thing, on to the next thing. Because in order to like push shit out to you the way I just described, where I'm trying to get you all like the newest shit that like deserves more attention, that means I gotta just keep going. Like I'm constantly listening to new shit. I barely have time to listen to old stuff. Unless I'm like building a tier list usually. Because even during like work, I'm listening to new stuff because I gotta constantly like be on my grind to be able to do that. So yeah, it does bum me out a little bit, but fortunately, there's so much good new shit that like you can't really be upset. Like it's a good problem to have. Like it's not something to really get mad about, legitimately. But that's a great question. Thank you for asking that one. Because yeah, I definitely do feel that. Well, I love Camelot. By the way, I'm gonna wind down too because I think we'll probably it's getting late here, and I'll bet the kids have passed out. I probably need to drag the little one up to bed and everything. So shit. Well, let me make sure I read that one. So while I love Camelot, they seem to make the same stuff over and over again, and this has been happening since Ghost Opera. Yeah, I feel like a lot of those bands have that problem. I get really bored with that. Sometimes that's okay though. Like Meshuggah's albums are very similar, but I love their sound and it just like works. But other bands like Slayer, especially later in their career, it doesn't for me. Like, yeah, it's interesting how that is. Grind, atmospheric, folky, black metal, death metal, black gaze are my favorite subgenres. Black gaze has become such a thing over just the past couple of years. It's crazy. Botch, fuck yeah, dude! It makes me so excited anytime somebody brings up botch, and I think anyone who loves botch knows that it's like a secret code, because only like such a small, even like within the, I guess within the mathcore scene, like if you're really in the scene, you know who Botch is. But people who know Dillinger Escape, people know the Dillinger Escape Plan. People don't necessarily know Botch. They're amazing though. I actually have. Speaking of which, you can even see Narrows behind me on the wall, which is the vocalist project after Botch. But yeah, I've got. Sorry, the stream's delayed here, so I'm going to look at the OBS version while I'm doing this. But yeah, I have We Are Romans. Fucking amazing album. Do yourself a favor and listen to this. Like, it is so sick. They went out too soon. I would love to see a resurgence. I'm getting a phone call. You want to hear her on the stream? Hey, I'm live right now. What do you want to say to the audience? They're listening right now.
That I will text you.
Okay. All right, I'm going to get off of here in a second anyways. All right, love you. Great, I embarrassed her. Let me see what she says. Let's see. Where was I? Okay, so I got Botch really sidetracked me. I'm telling you, man. You say Botch to anyone who loves Botch, and they will love you forever. About the only gaze I enjoy is Alcest. There's a lot of, man. Check out my post black list I did of bands like Deaf Heaven. There's some good shit in there, like that I think is better than Deaf Heaven, quite honestly. My favorites are black and death metal, power metal, epic doom metal, melodic death metal, and symphonic extreme metal. Those are great. Symphonic extreme metal, especially. Yeah, I should have put that in my list too, honestly. I would put that above progressive death metal, honestly. I don't bother with new bands with less than 2 or 3 albums because they might dismantle and never release new stuff. My mains are all classic bands with 10 plus albums. You miss so much though. Like I kind of love discovering bands that only have one album because sometimes they're so good. Like Inside the Beehive too, another like it's become like a mathcore staple, and they only have the one album. It is on Bandcamp. I think it's free too to download. So get on Bandcamp right now. Look up Inside the Beehive. So amazing. Like that album's sick as fuck. Sorry, I'm texting back. I'm actually looking forward to the new Zombie album. Yeah, dude, Zombie, man. Fucking legend. Fucking legend, dude. If we're talking about the one that I'm thinking of that did all the soundtracks and shit. I'm always down to that synth stuff is really cool. And I love the inspiration it's having on like The Lion's Daughter. Like that's clearly an influence. Lantlos, Black Gaze stuff is amazing. I haven't listened to them. Thanks for the recommendations for new mathcore. Dude, if you need mathcore recommendations, you have come to the right place. But also, Mathcore Index, their podcast drops really, or even if you just follow their page, they drop all the best new stuff. Like they're at the cutting edge of all the best stuff happening in mathcore right now. And then the classics too. They get a little political sometimes, which I'm not always a fan of, but yeah, they do so much for their community, and so I deeply respect them for that. So check them out too if you want more crazy mathcore stuff. But I tend to like siphon off some stuff kind of from them, and then like I know enough of the bands now that I keep going. Like Juan Bond, I've covered a few times, and Steak Sauce Mustache, I plan on covering more. Check out my not just the Mathcore for Dummies list, but the I did a newer, what was the other one called? Oh, bands like I did a couple. So I did bands like the Dillinger Escape Plan, and I did bands like Every Time I Die. check those out because there's some really sick bands to check out in there. But definitely check out Botch. Check out Sixth with the th at the end. Sikth, and Inside the Beehive. I think that'll be a good kind of starting list. But yeah, keep on the lookout. Like I'm always on the lookout for that shit. Um, Hang on, texting again. I can't believe it's fucking 11:20 already. I need to finish watching this episode of Best of the Worst too. That's what I was originally doing. Was I was watching the latest episode of Best of the Worst from Red Letter Media. I need to finish it. Okay, so Converge. Fuck yeah, dude. That's all you need to say. Converge, man. Converge is the shit. I hope they drop a new album. I am planning on doing a tier list for them as well because I try to do tier lists mostly on bands that I'm well versed in their discography, and that is definitely one of those bands. Like I've been listening to all of the Converge albums for a pretty long time at this point, and know them back to front enough to feel like I can talk about them. Lycathia Aflame is another example of this, a band with one album that's great. Yeah, dude, I love that. I love that. It's fun. Like it's fun to find those. You miss some real gems if you miss out on that. Hang on, still texting. Let's see. A band with one album that's great. Okay, interesting. Ballism is a great example of a great band with a short discography. This would be another good topic for a video in general. Actually, I think Metal Forge Reviews just did a video on this, if I'm not mistaken. Or something like that. Best bands, metal bands with one album. They did something like that. Yeah, they did. They did. Can't shout these guys out enough too. They're just still growing their channel, but honestly, I love them. Like I love their editing. I love their sense of humor. I love their drive and their passion. So I'm gonna link the video right here. But yeah, they did a video on, and I've done I think two collabs, one on my channel, one on their channel. But yeah, this is Best Metal Bands with Only One Album. They just put this out 3 weeks ago. So speak of the devil. So rather than talk about how somebody else could do a video, they already did it. But that would be a fun topic for another live stream. I would love doing that. In fact, I love going down kind of that rabbit hole of thinking of my favorite sort of one-hit wonder metal bands. Because honestly, that's something I have one of my favorite playlists is my 90s playlist, and so much of it is just one-hit wonder stuff. Like I don't know if y'all remember the the song Superman's Dead from the 90s. It's from Our Lady Peace. And they had some kind of other hits, but that was like the one big one. Like that's my shit right there. Is like that kind of stuff. And yeah, I love shit like that too. Just like the one off. They're not a band I'm gonna continue to follow, but if they just have that one amazing track, then I'm gonna remember it. And most of those are from the '90s because that was the era, man. That was the good shit. Yeah, dude. They had a really great vocalist. He had a really kind of unique voice, like kind of all over the place too. He would do the little falsettos and that song. If you don't remember the name of it, yeah, the chorus had this weird like yeah, Superman's dead. It's like this weird like nasally falsetto-y wavering kind of thing. It's weird, but it's so much fun. It's a great song. That probably that probably did not sell it at all because I sang that horribly, especially with my voice going out. But maybe some of you it's sparked your memory of the song. But yeah, I think this is a good time to kind of wind down here. We're at about 2.5 hours, which is pretty crazy. The chat's slowing down finally a little bit, and this has been fun though. Thanks for hanging out with me, spending the evening on this chill Saturday after a pretty relaxing day after a terrible fucking week, man. This week fucking sucked, but here's to hoping that next week is better, and watch for more sick reviews coming up. In fact, one I'm really interested to see how it does tomorrow, and a couple more cool ones this week. But then, especially this whole month of February, I have mostly done, and I'm so like I hate sitting on them. Like I want you all to just see them now, but I'm gonna dish them out a little bit at a time, and we'll have fun with that. So yeah, thank you. We got one last comment here. It's interesting how metal doesn't really have one hit wonders, and I think that's because as soon as you get into underground, the emphasis is on albums. That's a good point. Yeah, you don't see it as much. Um, and when you do, like it doesn't stand out in a way. I don't know. It is a good point. Cheers, yeah. Thank you, Fainer, for being here. Thank you all for being here, and we're gonna call it at that. So, Flight of Icarus signing off. I will see you in the trenches.